Hello and welcome to the grand finale of Idle Champions Presents. And you guys are all in the wrong places. What happened? How did that happen so quickly?
Magic.
This is how we're starting things.
Man, literally, like right out of the gates, this was correct, and then it wasn't correct. So we're gonna do this not in the order that we'd intended, but we're gonna make this happen. So let us start with I will let you all introduce yourselves first, fine heroes, starting with you who are now in the right place, Christina.
I am the right place at the right time to say I'm Christina Ariel, and I play Ariza, and she's an SMR cleric bard, and at the moment she is currently wardrobed as a red panda, hence why I, too, am dressed as a very fancy red panda.
The fanciness is what puts it over the top, serving Kigurumi realness, yes. Mark?
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I do voices in video games. One of the voices I did was Baloth the Entertainer, and now I'm playing him in an RPG. Baloth is similarly in a costume for this particular scenario, and he is dressed in a legally distinct version of the costume that David Bowie wore in Labyrinth.
Legally distinct. Errand?
Legally distinct.
I'm Errand M. Evans. I'm the author of the Brimstone Angels saga, and I am playing my character from those novels, Havilar, who is a tiefling glaive fighter. And she's currently dressed in an amazing strawberry gown.
Very, very fancy tiefling right now. Yes. Jen?
Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. I am playing Alindra, who is normally attired in some scale mail and shades of blue, but currently is wearing a very formal 18th century ball gown in bright shades of magenta. Along with her familiar Griff, a brown owl who is currently wearing a tuxedo, Tails, and a top hat, and Grant, who is a blue dragon, who is also formally attired for the events of Idle Champions Presents A Fool's Errand.
A very fancy baby blue dragon and a very fancy little griffin. And last but certainly not least, Adam.
I'm Adam Bradford, and I'm the CDO at Demiplane, and I am playing Brib Steelmarrow, who is currently dressed in a purple and gold jester's outfit that definitely has open calves. That's very important, and he's got some of those very long golden buckle shoes with the really, really pointy toe, and he's got bells on his head and bells on what is typically his giant great sword. It's kind of styled into a rod kind of staff kind of creation with bells on it as well. So he is jingling everywhere that he goes.
And I believe it's also sleeveless. That's important to point out.
Sleeveless is very important.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
in
honestly,
the fanciest of jorts.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean, if MC Hammer, a legally distinct version of MC Hammer,
McHammer, we'll call him.
Yeah,
DM Hammer.
McHammer.
DM Warhammer.
McHammer. Yeah.
McHammer. So if he was to wear shorter pants, this is what Briv would be wearing right now.
I'm just saying, we did not intend this to be new skins for Idle Champions. This was a gift that we gave to CNE. That's our contribution that will last
on giving.
Yes, beyond our run here of Idle Champions Presents. Jen, is the Grand Familiar still available?
The Grand Familiar is still available. However, the initial run that was specifically for donations to the Grant Imahara Steam Foundation has ended.
Perfect.
But yes, Grant is familiar. Pirate Skin Alindra is available, and Pirate Skin Griff is also available as a familiar.
I believe by now all of our pirate skins this past weekend, Pirate Freely having become available, which is a valid life choice, complete with Pirate Trievor on his shoulder. So now you can not just have us all in your formation. You can have us appropriately garbed in your formation. Also, we played a clip from the upcoming Bardic Inspiration Volume 1 last week, which you can now see here, located right here beneath my face. It's down Mel. We will be playing another upcoming song from Bardic Inspiration during the break. So stick around. You will find out what it is. It will be during the break, not after the break this time. Again, as you know, your votes in Idle Champions directly impact the flow of our stream. So thanks to you, the players of Idle Champions. The winner of D6 Inspiration on all their rolls will be Havilar. So Anytime you roll a d20, add a d6 to it. And also, thanks to you, the people of Idle Champions, Alindra will receive an inspiration on a roll of her choice. So again, we're going to do that as a luck die. So whenever you make an attack roll, an ability check, or a saving throw, you can spend that die to roll an additional d20.
I'm going to roll it now to find out what it will be. That is a 4.
Excellent. Well, that's you know what we'll raise the stakes one more time. You can also use it to replace an attack roll against you, like the lucky feat. So there you go. You can force
as a portent.
Yes.
Situation.
Yes.
It'll be a third portent.
Yes.
Excellent.
You can force
Thank
a
you all
4
so
on
much.
someone else. Thank you, people. I was gonna say the vote for next week's episode starts tonight, but this is the end. But maybe we'll just be back to do this again. And by maybe, I mean definitely. So stick around. We'll let you know before we return. But we got to get through this one all alive first. Or maybe none of you are coming back. Also tonight, we will be giving away 2 Idle Champions chess codes, the first of which is Tonka, Troy, and Tad. This is a long one, so here we go. Here's my verbal components. Ton, Qatar, Oyan, Datad. It really does work, Jen. You were absolutely right.
It really does.
Yeah, they're all verbal components.
Any Idle Champions code, you can turn it into a verbal component.
There it is. So Tonka, Troy, and Tad. I'm sure the mods are dropping it in chat right now, and we will be revealing a second code after the break. We're also giving away new unreleased Icons of the Realm Boneyard standard booster boxes. I have these myself. I posted a picture. Now I got them all up on my little display case over here. They should be coming out at the end of this month, so soon, because we're about out a month. So unless something changed imminently, you'll be able to buy your own. But in the meantime, we're going to be giving away 3 of the booster boxes tonight. So mods, please drop a link in chat. I will announce the winners at the end of the show. It only took me 6 weeks to have my streaming document open in advance, so we got there. Also, again, Alindra, all of us are available to join your formation now. All of our pirate skins are available to put on us as well, so you can have very fancy swashbuckling buccaneers available for you to play now in Idle Champions. Last but certainly not least, I'm to remind you, Idle Champion players, to collect all their Idle Champions Presents rewards before the Wednesday update. Anybody that does not collect them, they may disappear with the update. So log into the game. Don't leave us now. Maybe open a second tab. Log in Idle Champions. Make sure you collect your swag, because you are not just helping us with your votes, you are also helping you. And with that being said, on with our adventure. Do we have a volunteer for the recaptain for what happened last time?
I shall volunteer.
You are a very well-informed elf. Please, yes.
We were in town and we met Hailey, who is married to Bairn, who was concerned about pulling off an enormous prank on Rerdor, the frost giant who lives in the mountains, and his legion of ogres, who are Tonka, Troy, and Tad, who might be the verbal component of this week's Summoning Your Goodies spell in-game. They reported that he was in a particularly foul mood, but Byrne and some of his friends went into the mountains to play this prank because of the celebration. While we were in town, Iris, our beholder friend, showed up with appropriately attired for the festival, with sunglasses and paying us a visit. She spoke with us a bit, unpetrified Arisa, which was a quite important thing, and has offered to help us along the way. Arisa had a plan to put bubbles everywhere to make everyone happy and obscure our location. We decided to take the path up to the ogre's hideaway and the giant's hideaway. On the path, the tracks indicated a number of fairly intoxicated individuals staggering their way up, where we hit a clearing where we were attacked by a sneeze breeze, and then we encountered some owlbears who we attacked and then resurrected, because we're lovely like that and didn't want to do additional harm. we were told that Rador is also known as the Cold One, and he is disagreeable. We did see a flaming mountain far in the distance with an enormous creature flying overhead, vaguely draconic shaped. But something was different. We arrived at an entrance that says Home of Rador Sage, this entrance only. It was in common, written by a huge hand. There were footsteps, someone running up the tunnel. It was one of the members of Byrne's party. There had been a joke played on them. They had put itching powder in the small clothes of the creatures, and it did not go particularly well, and they summoned a number of ice creatures, ice mephits, which...
and small clothes, hold on, small clothes are underwear. Indeed,
Briv learned a new term. It's a completely foreign concept to Briv. He's learning new things every day. There are 9 villagers still inside. We get lost in the cave, encountered the ice mephits who were holding the humans. We found 4 humanoids, and there were 6 loose mephits. The room was filled with fog. We fought Baloth dispelled the magic, and someone said, "You have to save them. Please help. Please let me help you save them." And we found out the giants and the ogres have started heading back to Hornfirth in a rage. And we find our heroes here.
Delightfully thorough. I myself have nothing to add to that. Does anyone else?
Well,
We're here, Rose.
Yes, Baloth.
Well, it's clear why the giant is upset. He's wearing small clothes. They're a little too tight for him.
Constricting.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Freedom
true.
of movement is where it is at. Let me tell thee.
You know, if nobody can prank your underwear if you don't wear any, Briv. That's true.
Huzzah.
You've been right this entire time.
Boxers being over briefs being?
Yes. Yes. Everything Alindra just said was true. And the last thing you heard was, "You have to save them," Bairn shouts through freezing tears. My friends, oh please, you need to catch up to them, or wait, I know how you can reach the village of Rador. I can help you fix this. Please follow me. And turns and rushes out of the cave without another word. What would you all like to do?
Follow.
I at least want to see what he's got. I don't think there's a good chance it's a bad idea. He hasn't had good ideas. But I'm curious, if nothing else.
Before we plunge headlong in pursuit of the guy who started this entire mess, could anyone administer a bit of first aid?
Yes. Baloth is a little beat up. He has been cut, frozen, and nicked. The owlbears landed a pretty good hit on him. The mephits blew some frost breath. The entertainer is looking a little worse for wear.
You know, I started this day being chewed on by a shark, and it's just been downhill.
Oh, fair. I will cast a healing word on you. It's 1d4 plus 2.
Briv looks him up and down and just says,
I can
he might need more than just a word.
A healing sentence would be great.
A healing poem.
A paragraph if you can manage it. I won't complain.
I certainly can manage a few of those. So 5 plus 6. So is 11 points. Does that help at all?
It certainly puts me in better standing than I was. Yes.
How about a little cure wounds?
Ooh, I'll take one of those, sure. All for Baloth! No, who else is hurt? Far be it from me to not be selfish, but... Yeah, I'll take a cure wounds.
I'm a little beat up, but he looks bad.
It's you. There is a little bit of blood leaking through Baloth's fancy, legally distinct costume. Yeah.
So
it's all over.
Cure wounds.
Mm-hmm. All right.
For 24 points.
Whoa! Baloth is suddenly in tip-top shape. Thank you very much.
Is anyone else hurt? Does anyone else require healing?
A little.
Havilah?
Got you.
Life is pain.
The first noble truth.
Anyone who tells you different is selling something.
Important point of clarification, though, Alindra, not to put you too much on the spot, zone of safety if you don't, but when he requested a healing poem, do any words leap to Alindra's mind to say to Baloth to comfort him while she's healing him? Poems, limericks, sonnets, cones, any are acceptable.
A tutor who tutored the flute tried to tutor two tutors to toot. Said the tutor, is it harder to tutor to tutors to toot?
Much better. Thank you.
I can thank my grandma for that one.
How much does Havilar get healed for, Ariza?
Havilar gets healed for 13 points.
Thank you.
Perfect. You all see as you kind of just take a moment to heal and collect yourself. The remaining villagers are freeing each other from Rukal. The Mephits had them in the ice manacles, and Baron has run down all the way down the cave and stops, and you just hear him yelling, "Come on, come on! There's no time to waste."
We just hooked it up here for thee, and thou art going to rush us now? Briv starts trudging after.
As you follow Baron over the course of a few minutes running, the trees begin to thin, then disappear suddenly. Ahead, a broad expanse of mountainside slope has been logged off, with new seedlings already growing, healthy between huge piles of decaying brush. The sound of a stream rings out where it flows down a rocky course and reveals your destination, where Baron proudly points ahead. It's a log flume. Dare I say, a chaos flume, thanks to the good people of Idle Champions. A long twisting aqueduct down which logs would have traveled to a landing site far down the mountainside, and it looks like it hasn't been used in many, many years. You see, Baron looks at it and says, Oh my gosh, I didn't even know if this was still gonna be standing. It's been 10 years since anybody used this thing, but I'd hoped it was going to be here. I mean, it was barely holding together even back then, but I'm sure it's fine.
We survived dysentery to just get to this.
I'm sure it's absolutely safe, and more importantly, it will get you down there in record time. There's no way you're gonna catch them on foot. You gotta do it. And he slaps the side of it, and it very much goes when he slaps it.
Oh no.
This looks very dangerous, but very fun!
Huzzah!
Water slide, guys.
Come on in, Baloth. Water's fine.
A few minutes ago, I would have been very hesitant to get on this death trap, but I think I can take a pummeling now. So I think I will.
I would like to cast a Tensor's floating disc and allow anyone who would like to ride on that just in case.
When you start to do this, Baron just says, "Oh, we could build a raft. We could help. Or I could show you how."
A raft?
Thought that we were in a hurry.
Build it quick. No, build it quickly. You'll freeze to death. It's wet. That's icy water in there. Like you won't be able to feel your fingers by the time you get to the bottom. No, wait. I can tell you what to do. Which, by the way, there are 4 tasks that require performing. And I will let you all tell me who does what. And yes, that does leave an extra person to help out. So 2 people can do one thing or any whatever. There is the strength athletics to load and position, to physically move the logs, put them down. There is dexterity, sleight of hand, to precisely lash together the boards and timbers. There is investigation or perception to check the positioning and balance to make sure you have built this thing properly. And persuasion to properly direct the work of Baron and the other villagers to help you all out with this.
Could intimidation be used?
I mean, intimidation can always be used, Baloth. I'm also going to drop that list here in our chat so you guys can see what the options are. Again,
I'd like to suggest that we do the old good cop, bad cop routine. So Ryza and I'll be the stick if you want to provide the carrot.
Ooh. So I get... All right, let's do this.
You
Back
will
up, back
persuade
up.
him. And now
I'm probably the best bet as a perception if I use my baseline 21.
All right, so Alindra is going to check the positioning in the balance. Ariza and Baloth are going to alternatively attempt to motivate these people. So that leaves Briv and Havilar. Who's going to do strength and who's going to do dexterity?
I'm definitely stronger than I am dexterous.
As am I.
Uh-oh.
We are probably very, very boned if I have to tie laces together. Could I? So can we all fit? Could we all fit on the same raft?
Oh, yes.
If that's the case, could I, if I am willing to incapacitate myself, could I spread metal out like nails essentially to try to do that instead of tying, like spike through the raft logs?
No, but what I will do is you're still going to have to give me the sleight of hand, but I'll let you do it with advantage.
I'm fine with that.
To compensate for the fact that you're driving nails into
It's
this
better
wood.
than the alternative.
All right, so all of you roll this for me. Roll athletics for Havilar, sleight of hand for Briv with advantage, perception for Alindra. Do still roll it for me. And persuasion for Ariza and intimidation for Baloth.
I got 30.
Briv, you see this very fancily dressed tiefling just walks over to a log that looks like it might weigh 500 pounds and just grips and rips like it's nothing. And just come over and drops it with a loud boom.
So I have foreseen this moment. I will use my 18 portent plus my +6, so that is a 24.
Alindra, as you're watching this, the townspeople still are a little slogged, even after the chaos with the mephits and the adrenaline. Like, they were 7 sheets to the wind. They've improved to 4 sheets to the wind. And you knew a couple of them were just kind of going to wander off and slide down the flue, completely losing track of what they're doing. And you're able to sort of like wrankle them back.
There's a mage hand that just grabs the scruff of their neck and pulls them back like puppies.
Yeah. And they go back to helping with the raft. Perfect. Briv, what'd you get?
14.
Briv, I don't know, man. You know, you all are looking at this. He's put a lot of holes in something that's supposed to be
I do not know why they
water-worthy.
chose me for this job.
Might I use draft guidance?
I'll say you could have given him guidance.
I just don't know if I have it memorized.
That's a cantrip, right?
Yeah. Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, roll another
sure.
D4, Briv, because he did say out loud he wasn't too sure about this.
I do not feel good about this. That's a 4, so that is a total of 18.
Briv, as you at first are just sort of like ka-thunk, 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 even you're like, oh, wait a second. Maybe here, and here.
They must be together. It's not enough to simply put metal into each individual log.
Right.
They must tie together. I have it now.
A DM was hit by the sneeze breeze.
That's true. The sneeze
God's
breeze,
bless thee.
it blew up in the wind. That's good, because 14 was not going to be enough and would have been a problem later on. Baloth and Ariza, how are you all good cop, bad copping these people?
Well, I saw Ariza's roll, so I think I should go first and leave the big finish for Ariza. So Baloth just goes, leave it to me, and immediately just starts screaming at all of them. Listen to me, you swine! You're going to be responsible for the deaths of all of your loved ones. I don't give a fig about that town down the hill, but I suspect you'll be concerned when all of your children are stomped into jam by a bunch of giants. Now, if you don't want that to happen, you're going to work quickly and build us a raft or whatever the hells we need.
You're such a cruel drow. Hallister Blackcloak is in town and we'll sort you out once we get down there.
Already dead at my hand. So that is a 24 on intimidation.
They seem very cowed as icy tears are streaming from their face. And Ariza, you see these poor people here, very much terrified by Bailoth. What does Ariza say?
So Ariza decides that she's going to pop her wings and try the glowy ethereal angel angle. However, she forgot she's still dressed as a red panda. So as she tries to do this beautiful rising float, she once again is pulled up and her with her tail in the air floating around. And so she's just like, oh, whatever, I'll go with it. Please help us and we'll help you. Or we could kill you. How do you want to do this?
And what did Ariza get?
I got, oh shucks, I only got a 29.
You see, they're alternatively inspired and terrified, which is always the line you're kind of looking for, Ariza. And
It's a gift.
they do seem like they get it together enough as Havilar is just like thonking logs down, honestly kind of cheerfully in the midst of this miserable situation.
This was like 40% of my childhood, so.
And they push and hold them together while Briv lashes them. Alindra instructing everyone as Bailoth cackles maniacally while they... and the raft comes together pretty quickly. You think it's probably sufficient for the task ahead of you. You most likely won't die, probably. It looks solid.
Most likely won't die.
I
Probably
feel
okay.
a bit strung out, but otherwise we will be fine.
All right, then. Shall
Also
we?
Zuni onto the. I feel like if Zuni gets on and it breaks, then we know something.
Important point of clarification that we never actually asked Havilar because, I have a vested interest in Zuni's well-being because I know Freely does. How does Zuni look when she's fancy?
Very important.
I think my gut answer is glitter muzzle.
Also bedazzled.
It's one of my street names.
Bedazzled glitter muzzle.
So
Anything that was metal got bedazzled pretty much.
Maybe also like the tips of her fur. It's like that hair color stuff that you just rub on. So she's got like little pink and red tufts to go with Havilar's strawberry dress.
Is there a bow anywhere in her?
Of course there's a bow. There's probably 3.
So your 3,000-pound Nessian warhound, straight out of the abyss, is a sparkling pretty girl here in the.
She is the prettiest girl. Scorch it.
Don't forget the glitter.
The glitter's important.
Briv is like laying down with his metal spread everywhere, trying to hold the raft together, and sees that the huge creature is coming.
I forgot you're laying on the raft.
No, tis not built for this. Tis not built for this.
She's 3,000 pounds. She's
She
she's
could
too
probably
big.
go down
She's
by
too big
herself.
for the disc. Sadly,
She
She
could,
could just like surf it. I think she wouldn't mind.
Briv.
kinda
Send her
hot
ahead
all
of
the
us?
time.
Briv Zuni.
clear the way.
Briv Zuni does start making biscuits on your back there as you trying to, but
Her
the
paws like steel nails.
but Briv, you're a steel marrow. It's not so terrible actually.
I think it's
I
because
like
Zuni
a
needs
deep
you.
tissue massage.
It's true. Yeah, no, it's Swedish. It's down in there. It's between the collarbones. Yeah. You
Let's go down
feel
first.
this you accounted for Zuni in the construction of this. You think between the construction of the raft and the disc to help, you all can it'll probably hold. Probably. You don't need it to
Enough
hold
for me.
long. Yep. You see the remaining townspeople start loading the raft up onto the top of the flume, and they're like, "Well, we'll find our own way down. Please hurry."
Thou didst construct this death trap for us, and thou aren't even going to ride upon it?
Precisely. It's a death trap, and you all are stout heroes. We are but simple villagers.
I feel like our fates are being manipulated by some kind of voting mechanism and some kind of alternate
Briv,
reality.
that's ridiculous.
Curse the cruel fates, right?
All of these things were predetermined in this particular timeline, as they are.
Quite frankly, you would have foreseen, Alindra, if there was some external force, perhaps toying and voting with your ultimate fate here.
Certainly. These decisions were made previously. They weren't immediately made. So,
Baron and his companions toss you the raft's control ropes and scurry back, and for a moment, you simply sit motionless, stuck against the walls of the flume. Then, with a lurch, weight overcomes friction and you begin to move, pushed by the stream, dragged on by gravity, and picking up speed.
As we pull out, Bailoth will make sure to say, "Goodbye, townspeople. This was all your fault."
Important point of clarification. Who's steering?
ooh.
Someone
Who's going to be our best navigator here?
It is a one-way trip. It's not that you have
It's
to turn,
probably-
but the rafts will, shift and go all over the place. Somebody still has to try and hold it.
It might
Ariza?
be...
Oh.
Oh, I was going to say, Ariza, do you want to?
Oh no, I was gonna say, can I use like my tails, like a little propeller?
Uh,
You're the
There's a
rudder.
lot of them, and if they go like really, really fast, and it's a
You got a rudder and a propeller. Yes. I will give advantage when we have to have steering checks from the seven tails.
trolling
of
motor.
It's
I'll like hold the tail and be like, you know how like you hold the little thing down, the little lever. I'll just hold the tail down and just like.
perfect. So
What I was going to say is Grant has a fair amount of driving experience on ships for us previously. So I think between me and Grant paying attention ahead with my perception, we might be okay.
perfect. So Alindra, with the assistance of her baby blue dragon, is going to have the ropes. There are a few things you all are going to have to do over the course of this trip down the mountain, which is
Scream with delight, one of them.
it's a free action.
Yes.
Important point of clarification. Is Havilar on Zuni on the raft to make it like even more crazy, or is Havilar down on the raft?
Yeah, I just assumed she'd be up in the front and no one would let her have the ropes, to be clear, because I think that would be a very poor choice.
She's
for
prepared
all
to
of
try.
us.
Zuni like poking her head over the side like a puppy in the wind,
Like, lean in,
just
lean in.
delighted. Yeah, their little licks of flame.
Force fire gonna start from Zuni Spittle up here. That'll be a second flaming mountain that you guys are gonna see tonight. So here is how we are going to do this. I'm gonna need each of you to get a 1d6. You can get your idle champions 1d6 if you happen to have it handy. And when I come to you, you're gonna roll that 1d6 and tell me what you get. So I'm gonna go in the opposite order in which we did the intro, and I'm gonna start with you, Briv, as the raft is like sliding down this flute. Roll your 1d6 for me.
oh, I roll her irises, darling.
Yes, that's
I got a 6.
wonderful. Perfect. That actually is great for you, Briv, because as you are riding down this thing and Zuni is like happily bouncing up and down and Havilar's like, yeah, woohoo, yeah, you notice some of your nails start to come loose, Briv. And you start to see a little too much water forming right in the middle of the raft, and it will need to be repaired. Now, even though Briv did the Briv put it all together, Briv does not necessarily have to be the person to fix it. So you can give me, and this is for any of you, you can give me dexterity or intelligence or wisdom to figure out how to fix it. But the person that rolls, or at least gets the success, is only one of you can try, and that is going to be the person that is actually going to do it.
Who's got the best intelligence or wisdom? Probably, I'm thinking Alindra, yeah?
We have a tiny familiar.
I'm a charisma man myself, so...
So it's a which kind of roll would you like?
Dex or intelligence or wisdom.
Intelligence is the way to go, I suppose.
All right.
+4, or does anyone outclass me on any of those?
No, you beat me.
Right, and I add my d6 as well.
Oh yes, you roll it.
Oh,
Yes,
yes.
everything.
That's why you should do it.
We are strategical.
Mm-hmm.
16.
That is enough, but just barely, Alindra, as you plunge down here and start pulling it together. Unfortunately, the boards, you hit a bump and the boards slam shut and pinch your fingers for 3 points of damage. You all see it gets her pretty good as she like snaps her hand back from it.
Could you just...
Not my fault.
Speaking of not your fault, Alindra, you roll a d6 for me as you all are sliding down the mountain here. 3. While you guys are heading down, oh, perfect. Okay.
That's no. We don't want to hear that.
I never want to hear a DM say that.
Nope.
Alindra,
Nope.
it occurs to you after a split second as you very much are like, ow, 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 on your injured hand, you were driving. And all of you feel the raft start to go up the side of the flue here as it
Grant
is
is
going
there
down.
to steer as well.
And it will need to be hauled back down to where it needs to be. Hauling it back is either going to be strength athletics or dex acrobatics for whoever wants to try. But again, only one of you can try.
Bailoff just screams out, "Hammer!"
I assume Briv is
incapacitated.
Yeah, incapacitated.
All right.
So, yeah.
I'm saying for flavor, Briv's holding it together, but Briv
Yep,
is
got it.
capable of acting here. If Briv, so if it could be
I am
Havilar or Briv.
willing to cede the strength.
No,
moment
no,
to
no,
Griff
no,
if
no.
he wants it.
You,
'cause-
you have at it. I don't know who's better, actually, Aaron. So just do it because regardless, it's going to be fun. So
Okay.
just-
What?
Sorry,
You
these
do
are,
it, please!
these are checks, not
It's a
saves, right?
Checks.
Is it athletics check, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I will add my d6 to that, so 33.
Again, you Briv, he's like, no, after you, no, after you, and she just reaches down and you see her fairly slight fingers just dig into the logs and like boom, boom, like it's nothing. However,
It's about angles.
Valar, it's all leverage, right? As you are pulling and the raft is moving back towards the middle, a chunk of debris, one of the ropes, comes loose and smacks you in the face, Havilar, while you're doing this. Also for 3 points of damage. So as you're like, yeah, swack. But you do.
Favorite face.
You do manage to pull the raft back towards the middle. However, that brings it now to you, Havilar. Roll a d6.
Rolled a 1. How bad is it?
Oh, it's my very favorite. Roll, you know what? Roll a d4 for me.
Exploding down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops! Did you roll a d4 for me?
Oh, I
Sorry.
rolled a 3. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, oh, no, what happened?
No, I was looking at the thing. I didn't know you rolled a 3. Perfect. Actually, 3 is my favorite. Perfect. Great. When you guys were all silent, I was
That's
like,
what you
oh
just
no.
said about
Everything's his
one.
favorite.
No, this is definitely my favorite of my favorite. As you are dealing with this, Havilar, you hear Zuni starts whining. And very much like pawing at her muzzle, like she wants you to take her muzzle off.
What is going on with you?
Give me a perception check, Havilar.
She got glitter in her nose.
That would be so sad. 14.
Up ahead, you see something has built a little dam across across the flue, and a family of giant otters whip around and look at you.
Oh no! They're
And
cute They're too big to. They're. Oh no.
and start hissing, and the giant otters charge the raft as you guys are coming straight towards it here.
Dear.
Roll initiative.
Someone ought to do something.
No.
Thank you all for tuning in. Someone ought to do something. Hold on. All right. For initiative, Havilar.
12.
Lindra.
19.
Briv.
I didn't roll it yet. I got
Okay.
confused.
No
Sorry.
problem. Bailoff.
Yep.
17.
17. Ariza.
19.
19. And Briv.
Sorry, I think hardware acceleration just really messed up on my character sheet.
No problem at all.
All right, so that is a 4.
I feel Briv is adequately confused by all of this, as it's all kind of happening
So
very
some
quickly.
conflict,
He's
maybe because of
enamored
the
with
owl
the
bears.
otters.
That's true. That's true. You were overly enthusiastic last time. Let's see. The otters are actually going to go first. They're very adamant otters. And they just charge right in, going at Alindra and Havilar, and who else would have been near the front? We'll say Bailoff. Bailoff looks
Yeah.
juicy.
Sure. I was probably enjoying the ride.
There's 3 of them. Bailoff, what is your AC currently?
It is 18, but if I get hit, I will be reflexively casting shield.
As will I.
What is your AC currently, Alindra?
Also 18. So I will pop it to +5.
I will tell you, just so you don't have to waste a spell slot, it rolled high enough that the shield wouldn't be enough. It was still gonna get you either way. And
okay.
Havilar, it would be a 24 to attack.
Got it.
And Havilar, what is your AC currently?
16.
So Alindra and Havilar both get bitten. It sort of lunges past you, Bailoff.
Okay, so I don't use up a shield spell?
No, it just misses. It bites Alindra for 6 points of damage and Havilar for 6 points of damage. And they are in the middle of the raft, making their delightfully cheerful otter noises, but have mean, judgy faces here in front of all of you. And it is both Ariza and Alindra are going to act simultaneously. But Alindra, since you just got bitten, I will give it to you.
All right. Is there any way that we could adjust the ramp to send us up and over their dwelling so we don't actually damage their home?
One second here. Give me a quick perception check.
Okay, so I have a base of 21, but let's see what happens when I roll it.
Mhm.
Oh, 25.
You don't think that you can save the nest. It's probably done for. This thing is too big. However, you might be able to just motivate the otters to just leave, to just shoo them. Which you, you can try with either animal handling or intimidation or persuasion.
I am not particularly good at any of those things, but I could perhaps do a loud sound with a minor illusion of some sort of predator coming at them that they would flee.
I mean, there's a 3,000-pound Nessian warhound on the raft. So, yes, you could absolutely try that.
A loud roar that would perhaps frighten them away is what I would like to, the sound I would like to make.
Excellent. As the roar, you see they all crouch down and look in different directions, and I will give advantage to anybody that does try one of those things. Anything else for Alindra?
No, I suppose that is all for now.
They do seem very much like crouching and looking around, though. Ariza, you see these things are freaked out. Again, you could try animal handling or intimidation or persuasion to try and shoo them, or you could do, of course, anything else that Ariza can do.
Go with persuasion.
All right, roll it.
Okay. It's done.
What do you got?
I don't want to tell you. I want to do the thing first.
Oh, you want to tell me how you want to get rid of them?
Yeah.
Okay, how? What is Ariza going to do?
She's going to say, shoo.
It's unexpected, yes. Okay, and what did you get?
I rolled a 24.
You see, is she says this, it's kind of confusing because she's at the back of the boat, but they heard this menacing roar, and this giant seven-tailed fancy god of the forest is telling them to shoo. And you all can tell the otters are kind of looking for the exits here. Like, if left to their own devices, they probably will jump off the raft. But it's not their turn. It is your turn, Baloth.
Okay, now Baloth once again isn't really normally concerned with property damage, and he might just flay these otters if left to his own devices, but he realizes he's hanging out with a bunch of do-gooders, and so he summons, through the power of his ring, Najim, the mighty Jinn the servant.
What? Where are we? What is happening?
Najim, get us over top of that nest. Get a little ramp or whatnot, a little elevation, and then back on the flume. You can't fly here, by the way. Just thought you should know.
Fine. And you all do feel the raft moves up about 4 feet into the air. And you notice when it gets about 4 feet, it does like very heavily start to come back down. And Najim goes, sorry, I suppose I'm just tired today.
No, Najim, it's some kind of curse. I don't know. It's affecting the carpet as well. Just get us over this thing.
I think I can do it. Yes, and you all, it looks like you're probably maybe just going to knock the top off of it instead of just creaming this thing. But it looks like it's going to clear it, thanks to Najim.
Lose a couple of shingles and then...
Exactly. It will no longer be Big Bad Wolf proof up here. Anything else for Baloth?
Nope, that's good. It takes an action to summon Najim, so that is my action. And
is it always having to bail you out? Havilar.
Thank you, Najim. Thank you. You're too kind.
Yeah, I'm bound by an ancient.
Thy
ancient
name
oath.
should be Bail a lot. Am I right?
I like that. That's good. That's good. That's a good one.
I like this orc. Yes, I like this orc.
Okay, all right. Look, once again, I am not the one who trapped you. I'm just taking advantage of the situation you find yourself in.
Yes, Baloth.
Wait, I'm sorry. You keep this person trapped?
Again, not me. And I'm cursed too. I can't take this ring off. It's a long... Our backstory is so rich, I tell you.
Oh, I see. You'll have to tell me later.
Roommate.
Oh, yes, I'll reveal you.
He loves talking about himself. Yes. Havilar, it is your turn.
Can I use animal handling to try to you know how you have to grab a dog to put it in the bathtub when it doesn't want to go? Can I grab the otter and shove it over to the side?
You absolutely can.
All right. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that's pretty good. 29.
That is more than enough. I will let you scruff 2 of them in kind of gently. And you see,
Go home.
the third one just very much is just looking shocked by all of this. It's like Zuni is just looming over it. Briv, is that it for Havilar?
Yes.
Briv?
How many otters are left?
A single otter. It looks like it's
PB&J.
looking for the exit, but there is only the one left.
Okay, Briv is just going to try to help it along as well.
Okay.
And he's going to just form up a little coil of metal into a spring underneath its little rear, and he's going to spring it off of the raft.
Give me just athletics for that, Briv.
That sounds great.
Like cue the sound of the doorstop noise. The
Boing, boing.
All right, that's going to be a 24.
You see this thing is looking around confused and rockets over the top as the raft very much goes over the otter's home and lands on the other side and continues sliding. And Havilar, you see Zuni looks at you very disappointed that she didn't get to eat any river wolves. Like,
I'm sorry, but I'll buy you a snack when we get to town. Chili peppers.
Baloth rolled me a d6.
You know. That's Iris looking back at us.
All right. Perfect. Let's see here. Baloth, as you notice from all of this commotion, where the spring went off, the raft is cracked again and coming apart. Who is going to try and fix it? Again, it's dexterity, or intelligence, or wisdom to try and fix it.
I am none of those things.
I can try intelligence.
All right.
I got a +3. I got a +3 on that. I'm not bad at it, but
roll it.
I don't have no fancy bonus dice.
Yeah, and guidance won't help if it's just a flat check if it's not a skill. So
Nope. It's
I'm 19.
19's what you got?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. It doesn't look so hard, and you actually think ahead, and you're like, I'm not gonna let this thing close on my hand again. But the moment you pull it back together again, another piece of it comes up and flies and hits you in the hand as well, Baloth.
Oh no!
For 3 points of damage. The moment you're like, but
Curse you!
but the rest.
Curse you! The only thing keeping us alive.
But it is holding together. Ariza, you roll a d6 for me too.
The wind decided to play kick the can.
What'd you get?
I didn't get anything because I got distracted, but I got a 2 now.
Ariza, you notice as all of this is going on and Baloth is struggling to hold things together, you see everything starts to shake and all of your bags and belongings start sliding back towards the back of the raft like they're going to fly off of it. Somebody's gonna have to grab your stuff before you lose it all. Who wants to try? It is acrobatics or intelligence or investigation. It's acrobatics or investigation to try and stop it.
Acrobatics. Oh, can I try acrobatics?
You absolutely can. Roll it.
So it's a natural 1.
Our stuff!
Ariza, as you very much are trying to move towards the stuff to catch it, you trip on one of these loose struts on this thing, and not only does one of the bags bump into you for 5 points of damage, one also bumps into let's see here. Let's be fair. I'll do it by the overlay. One of them also bumps into Havilar for 3 points of damage. It's like, poof, however, you do manage to hold it together. Alindra, give me a perception check.
It'll be a 21, my passive.
You see, coming up ahead, there is one last hard turn that everybody is going to have to hold on to get out of here.
Brace in!
Everybody give me athletics or acrobatics to try and hold on for your lives. Or even investigation or perception to try and figure out the best place. So it's up to you. Athletics or acrobatics or investigation or perception. So that's something for everybody.
Question, can I just scream out, Najim, save me, and use his strength?
Yeah, you can roll into James Athletics.
That's why he's a valued employee.
That implies I get paid, sir.
Well, you know.
This is sounding more and more suspicious.
So athletics or investigation or perception or acrobatics. So what did you get, Alindra?
I look for the best place to grab on, and I have a 21.
Perfect. Briv?
I got a dirty 30 on athletics.
Excellent. You know, Briv's like,
Dirty.
You tell me how Briv handles this.
So he's just got his fingers and toes and everything, like trying to keep the raft together. And with this right here, he just kind of goes down and bites into the raft, and so he's just completely like secure because he is bit into the log.
Perfect.
Steel molars.
Steel molars. Yep.
I got a 29.
Perfect. And how does Havilar hold on for this?
I feel like she'd kind of just grab whatever and hold on really hard, but possibly that Zuni. And if Zuni's got her like steel feet sticking in.
So I feel like Zuni
both.
is still holding on to Briv and Havilar's holding on to Zuni.
Hold on to Zuni. Hold on to
It's
the
just
edge.
the anchor for all of it.
Exactly. Baloth, what did Najim get?
I just got to check his strength. Jin have a strength of 21. So it is a total of 6 plus 6, 8, 13, 16.
You see Najim is like, oh, I was carrying the raft, but fine. You should lay off the cakes and pints, Baloth. As he's like,
They had elephant ears.
slightly struggling to lift you up, but it does seem like he gets you in time. And Ryza?
I am going to try to hold on to the side. I got a 17 perception.
Perfect. All of you dig in and you're coming around the corner, and there is just no way to slow this thing down. It takes a big crunch as all of you still take 3 points of damage as you're slammed and beat around. Even Baloth with Najim coming into the corner. It would have been much worse had you failed. However, as you are sliding down the last leg of this thing, Alindra, you see up ahead a dead end. There is a pond that is full of logs and detritus that was meant to hold the logs, but is about to, you guys are going to crash into it, and this raft is not going to make it.
We're going to need to get out of the raft quickly.
So everybody roll Dex or an intelligence save. Dex save or intelligence save.
If everyone's within 10 feet of me, you get +4 on this.
You do.
+4? Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
26.
Oh,
17.
natural 1, thank you.
Oh,
17.
17, 26. We'll come back to that in a second. Havilar?
It's 17.
17, and Briv was what?
Dirty 20.
All of you leap off to the side to safety, only taking 1 point of damage as you kind of land in the woods and forest and everything. Baloth, you're kind of looking up at Najim, not paying attention at all, and he says, What's that odd smell in the breeze? And drops you, Baloth, who goes colliding into the water and junk and trees for 5 points of bludgeoning and 6 points of slashing damage, Baloth, as you very much get beat up and tangled up in all of this dirt and trash and nonsense.
Nonetheless, as Baloth steps out of this muck and water, as he steps out, he simultaneously casts Prestidigitation. So he comes out just spotless. And then you start to see like some spots of blood start to spread on the inside of the costume, which he Prestidigitates away again and is just sort of continually doing that. I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine.
you are muted.
Hold on, you're muted.
Sir.
The raft starts coming towards you also, and you see Najim points and a bolt of lightning, boom, shatters it and goes, sorry. Something is interfering with my highness.
Not at all, Najim. Thank you. And I'm sure the otters thank you for sparing their habitat.
If you won't be needing me, might I get back to my book? I actually, inspired by the young Miss Havilar, picked up some of the Brimstone Angels books. So you've had a very eventful life, Miss Havilar.
Well, normally, Najim, I would say no, I've got you for an hour, but books that good can't be left unread. So
if I must remain, I can, but
So, Alindra, I think if he is an employee, because he gets reading breaks. So all is well.
Those are very biased in Burrito's favor. I'm just saying.
It's, you
I
know,
make more cool stuff.
she does seem a little, yeah.
That's my sister.
Well, you just said it was true. She's very in her own head, though, don't you think?
She's smart and she thinks about things. I can say it, you can't say
She
it.
sounds lovely.
I didn't say it so much as agree with you, but yes, no, I do believe, Alindra, you and Miss Farida would get along quite well.
It would seem so, yes.
Yes, but I shall remain, for the time being. I've managed to get my bookmark back in place before I was, so cruelly ripped here to the prime material plane yet again.
Now, Najim, are you able to actually move around here? Because there's something here that prevents flying, and your lower half is basically a column of mist.
It is taking a supreme amount of effort, sir. Do you know what the source of this hex is?
No idea.
Only a few hundred strides away, the forested hillside is shifting. The trees shiver from side to side as if caught by unseen wind or as disrupted by a huge creature pushing through them at speed.
Oh, no.
That sounded very specific.
All of you can give me perception checks.
16.
23.
Alindra's going to be
21.
like 44. Hey, Bailoff outsaw Alindra.
15.
15, Ariza.
24.
Hey, Ariza outsaw everybody. Ariza, from your superior Kigurumi elevation here, you can see the ruins of what looks like maybe like an old tower or an old fort or something. You all might be able to get ahead of whatever it is that's coming and intercept them before they get to Hornfirth.
So, what if we go this way and we could possibly intercept them before they get to Hornfirth?
It's a really good idea.
That's
I like
sort
it.
of plan.
The only kind I have.
As you all are sort of agreeing, you hear, "Oh, wow, you guys look so cool!" And in a shower of sparks and bubbles, your very best friend, the tiny pink Holophant Bubbles, appears and is like, "Iris sent me to help you. I am here to assist you. What can I do? How can I help? Wow, you guys look cool."
Isn't that kind of bragging on yourself since you picked these?
I mean, okay, but that doesn't make it not true, right?
Flaunt
I mean,
it if thou dost have it.
look how fancy you look in your Kigurumi. Like, the red panda is outright the coolest look. And you would not have thought of that, Ariza. Think about it.
I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong because you're not, but I'm not going to say you're right either.
You know, that's all right. And she gets very close to you and she goes, "It'll be our secret." But so, hi, hey, how's it going? How's it? That was crazy with the flu thing. I was gonna come and help, but then I didn't want to die. So I figured I'd just wait down here and you guys would come to me. But there's these other big dudes and they're kind of coming towards the town.
I kind of want to do it again after we do this, so we can go. As long as you don't do that thing again.
Wait, which thing? I need you to be more specific. I do
Voice
a number
thing,
of things.
no more voice things.
No more. Hey, I promise you I will not mess with your Hevelar voices today, probably.
Bubbles, if you want to help, I find myself bruised and battered. Might you assist?
Yeah, of course. Hang on a second. And she heals you for 11 points of damage.
Ah, that's better.
Yeah.
Well,
See? Multi-purpose. Multi-purpose. You know, I realize you all are very much fearsome heroes, but these giants and ogres, I hear they are very, very fearsome beings. Perhaps I could make you look more intimidating so that you might be able to just frighten them off.
I like it.
I doubt that I could be any more intimidating, but thou canst try.
No, you're doing a thing with the motley. This works. I got to tell you, I wasn't sure, but fashion is risk, Briv. Fashion is risk. Yeah.
Huzzah.
Okay. All right. Fearsome. Oh, I got it. in thanks to you, the good players of Idle Champions,
Oh no.
What now?
Bubbles transforms all of you into giant red pandas with bow ties. Fancy red pandas. And she
I
goes,
did not know about the bow ties.
she goes, look. You've seen the thing that they do when they stand up. Like, no, who is going to be able to face all of you now? Ha 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 ha.
Question: Are we in giant red panda costumes, or have we been polymorphed into giant red pandas?
You know what? Dealer's choice. You guys tell me. Are you actually red pandas, or have you simply all been upgraded into red panda kigurumis?
Do our statistics change?
Yeah,
Can't
that's
imagine
the
How does
question.
the red panda hold the glaive?
No, very carefully. That's how.
Well, can we be anthropomorphic red pandas?
You know, it's of course, yes. This is not to your detriment. That
Wear a red panda.
wear red pandas. Now it's done. I rescind my option for you to choose. You're wear red pandas now.
Right.
All
Right.
of you.
We're in the sort of
We have damage immunity
Yeah.
against everything but silver, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a damage immunity against glitter. That's what you got from it. Yes, yes, Havilar.
Is Zuni included in this?
Oh,
Effect, or is Zuni just watching this?
100%. Zuni is now just a giant
Yes.
red panda. 100%, like a 3,000-pound hell panda. Yes, that's
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
As another extraplanar being, is Najim affected by this?
You know what? The
Najim.
source of Bubbles' power is beyond comprehension. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he's a red panda that trails off into mist.
Yeah.
So Flo the Flump, everybody.
Everybody.
is a
Griff,
red
Griff,
panda.
Grant,
Okay.
Griff,
everybody is a.
Grant, pandas. Everybody's a panda. Yes, Ariza. Yes, multiple tails, by the way.
How did Bubbles This the is amazing. Holophant get her powers? Holofino.
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been Idle Champions, A Fool's Errand. There's nothing left for us to do. We're done here. And we'll just see you next time. That counts as a TPK. Christina's killed us all. Thank you.
We could have ended it all earlier. I saw in chat that someone, I think it was R Green Paradox, said a briv over troubled waters.
Oh, that's.
That could have just ended the whole thing. Like the
pretty
show wouldn't have
excellent.
even come back.
I'm
That's like
afraid.
an episode title.
That's true.
That's
Afraid.
you know.
Yeah.
No,
You know-
that is a briv too far.
It just so happens that because of that kerfluffle with the camera, I didn't actually say what the episode title is, and now it really is a briv over troubled waters. That's it. That's what it's gonna be. That's good. That's going in the notes. It's canon. Okay. Bubbles looks at all of you and she just goes, "Yeah." Okay. I'm gonna go back to town because we got to be ready to fight if you guys like fail and get killed, and then we got to clean up your mess. I mean, you won't. You're gonna be fine. I'm sure you're gonna be fine. But in case you're not fine, I'm gonna go get Freely and Iris. So, and she vanishes mid-sentence in a shower of sparkles and bubbles. But important point of clarification: in your anthropomorphic red panda forms, are you still wearing your fancy costumes? Because maybe Luke McKay is gonna need to know. Even I don't know what's about to happen.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like yes, and I want to see Ariza, the red panda in a red panda.
Like, yo, dog, yo,
Double
I
red panda,
heard.
double
You
double
like-
red panda.
Pandaception.
Pandaception,
Yes.
yep. Like, I heard you like red pandas, so we put a red panda in your red panda.
And yeah, I'm here
Yeah,
with
my
bells
panda.
on, so like the bells are staying for sure.
What about the whistles?
The whistles cost extra. You know, perfect. So is Zuni still sparkly with bows in her in her panda form now?
Yes.
Perfect. You know what? You're welcome, internet. There you go. So maybe we'll get lucky and Luke will bless us with this one. It's the finale, but maybe we can impress upon him for one more.
Briv is petting himself far more than he should.
How does the steel marrow even interact with panda fur? Are you like a Brillo pad? Like how?
I don't
how
know.
does
We're
this-
gonna see, aren't we?
A Brivlo pad.
Yeah, a Brivlo pad. That's it. There it is. There it is.
Wow.
Just- the hits keep coming.
I have to say, I don't mind this new look at all. The marketing possibilities are endless. The merch we could move.
You,
It was,
Najim just looks down at you and he's like, I just feel a powerful compulsion to. Is that normal? I keep wanting to do this.
Let's all do it.
Now that you're doing it.
I did that before I was a red panda.
Very menacing. Yes. With that being said, thanks to the players' vital champions, you're now newly improved where red panda forms. I don't even know if this counts as a curse of lycanthropy. This is objectively an improvement. You all wanted to try and get ahead to the fortress, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. As you all get there, you hear the thunderous approach of this giant and his 3 ogres. You will have about 2 rounds to actually do something to prepare ahead of time. So you can kind of take any 2 actions you want as you get here. Hold on 1 second here. Yeah, it is just like the ruins of an ancient fortress, basically, kind of like a collapsed, rotting tower, just kind of the foundation of a few buildings, like a little bit of cover to be able to hide, but nothing too major. And you are definitely sure they're coming this way. So is there anything Ariza would like to do ahead of time?
I think Ariza is still just busy, like, trying to position her tails from underneath to come out. So she now has 14 tails. Wait, she have 9. She's at 18 tails now.
Yeah.
Let's just make up a number. Numbers are fun. So she's got like 18 tails, and she's trying to make sure they all like poke through the Kigu.
Perfect. Very valid. Bailoth?
I am going... Actually, I'm going to hold on to summoning Marmaduke because I can do it as a bonus action.
Perfect.
So, no, I'm basically just trying to find cover.
Okay. Try to get somewhere to hide. Perfect. Havilar?
I'm going to unlatch Zuni's muzzle.
And she very much shakes her head this time, but her mane is like long and flowing and moves in slow motion now for some reason when she shakes her head
You're
around.
so pretty like this. Like you were so pretty before.
She very much stands up proud in her.
Did she do this?
Very much. Which is a different thing when you're the size of a warhorse, you know? Yeah.
Is there any way we can slow them down? That isn't what I do.
Havilar having asked this out loud, and apparently the universe thinking it's a good idea based on that bell ringing. Alindra, what's Alindra going to do?
Would you like me to make a wall of fire? Or a tiny hut for us to stay in to protect ourselves?
I like the wall of
Thoughts?
fire. That seems like it would slow them down.
Yeah, right in
Is there a
front of
safe clearing where I could create a wall of fire?
Yeah, is your goal to make them, to corral them towards this place or away from this place? Because theoretically, right now, you're between them and the town.
I want to keep them away from the town, so it would be to wall them off from getting to the town.
Okay. Do you want to have them have to go if behind you, essentially, where if they go through you, there's the wall, or where they got to come through the wall to get to you?
Oh, no, in front of us.
Okay.
To get through the wall to us. So
Perfect.
It's an owie if they come through it.
Got it. Wall of fire. Perfect. And Briv?
I'm going to, as I'm going, you see that I put one of my hands on top of the other one, and I'm going to channel divinity, and I'm just going to say, "What time is it? Game time." And then I'm going to use Peerless Athlete. So for the next 10 minutes, jump distances are increased by 10 feet, and I have advantage on athletics and acrobatics checks.
Perfect. You all see this already bowed out red panda just like seem like get more vascular and ripped up, and like just seems like a little leaner and stands a little taller. That's exactly. It just comes out. It just comes
Brave,
out.
you did have a protein shake this morning, didn't you?
Something like that, yes.
Off in the distance, you anything else that you all want to do before they arrive?
I have an urge to suggest we make soap and throw it in the flume so there's bubbles waiting, but I don't know. Maybe we've moved past that plan.
You know what? I think the bubbles are a great
here for
idea.
Just
Just a
the
big,
abracadabras. It's full of
one
soap.
day in this
So do you
world,
want
there's
to
gonna
call
be a
on
place.
Iris to do that for us?
I have an abracadabras full of soap flakes.
You do have an abracadabras full of soap flakes. What were you saying there, Riza?
I'm saying you guys are really against this, but I feel that someday in this world there will be large parties with swaths and swaths of foam, and people will intentionally jump into that foam, and it will help them to not only have a good time but forget they were ever angry to begin with, and that's what we should do on all of our supposed enemies.
That is true. Maybe
sounds delightful.
It might even like pour down at like certain timed intervals there.
I am generally opposed to soap and everything that it represents, but I think that this is a good plan.
Havilar, are you going? I will give you time to throw soap into the flume and the surrounding water from the abracadabras if that is
Honestly,
your intention.
I want to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, while we're having this discussion about the future amazing foam parties, maybe Havilar's just like, right? Like, why is the future not now? And just run and throw it in the gush of the flume.
What?
Destroy the ecosystem. Sorry, I'm that person now.
That's true. Bath beads gonna poison the water supply. What does the soap that Havilar throws in it smell like? Like what's the scent of her soap?
Oh, that's a really interesting.
Child
I
of the
have a
abyss.
lotion here that says verbena and lavender, so maybe that, but also a little sulfur, maybe.
But a little with a hint, just a skosh of sulfur.
Which might be a dragon breath thing, might be a devil thing.
I
Could be either.
feel like verbena and lavender and sulfur that is kind of Havilar. I feel like that's sort of her. Yeah. Yes, you douse it in thick foamy bubbles start to come up on the flue and spilling out into the water nearby as you come back and get into position here. And with a shuddering
Part of this plan, but there's the first part.
With a shuddering crash, a stand of scrub pine is uprooted as a hulking figure impatiently shoulders through it. The frost giant Rerador is armored up and has a massive battle axe in hand. Close behind him amble 3 ogres, all whistling the same off-key but cheery tune. One carries an enormous spike chain over their shoulder. Another lovingly cradles a massive crossbow. The third has a huge basket strapped to their shoulders from which arises an intermittent oinking. You hear them as they approach. You hear Rerador just says, while to their whistling, "You couldn't make my mood worse if you tried, so stop trying." And then he looks at all of you and says, "Unless you're folk of Hornfirth, in which case, come closer. I've got a joke for you." And although we're a little early, this is a good place dramatically for us to take a break. But I have a special surprise for you here. We have another one of our songs from Bardic Inspiration about to make its world premiere. This is going to be The Viper's Teeth, the song about our own Black Viper. Vivka might be in chat. I heard she might make an appearance. She hasn't heard this either, so this is going to be the world premiere. So I'm going to play the song, and we will be back in 10 minutes, and hopefully I can do this without messing it up. Here we go.
Overcast underneath the moonlight, a shadow creeps at the edge of sight. Pockets picked, be it noble or night. All gold shines the same under lamplight. A lady of charm, a lady skill, picking her pockets, going in for the kill. A lady style, a lady class, stands in a fall, kicking your ass. Feel the bitter bite of the viper's fangs tonight. Did you hear about that theft so bad? such panache. I heard it was Black Viper on a crime spree, but I'm a little parched, please pass the tea. A lady charm, a lady skill, picking your pockets, going in for the kill. Lady style, a lady class, dancing a ball, a kicking your ass. Feel the bitter bite of the viper's fangs tonight. A lady charm, a lady skill, picking your pockets, going in for the kill. A lady style, a lady class, dancing a ball, a kicking your ass. A lady charm, a lady skill, picking your pockets, going in for the kill. A lady style, a lady class, dancing a ball, a kicking your ass. Feel the bitter of the viper's fangs tonight. Tonight, the viper's fangs tonight.
Well, first off, you are in a brand new show. B. Dave Walters is the Dungeon Master. It's called Idle Champions Presents. Who are you playing? And what is this show about?
So I am playing Ariza, who some of you know from Sirens of the Realms, and she's kind of a realm hopper. So she's here, there, and everywhere.
And the game's gonna be kind of chaos. I mean, more chaos than usual because people can vote on the outcome a bit.
Yes. I was against the Black Viper today, was up against Ariza. So I'm sure that was I had someone say that was a very hard vote to do. So the chaoticness of Viv minus, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. No, I'm really excited to see. B-Dave is chaotic dude at best. And I'm really interested to see what he throws at us. And Mark Mear's going to be there, so anything could happen. It's a lot of uncertainty on this ship.
Yeah.
Ariza was actually my first live stream character, my first D&D character, and I created her with Satine Phoenix for the Sirens of the Realms campaign. And she is an Aasimar cleric bard. She decided to take up juggling at one point, and she is also a bard who sings most of her spells, as some of my characters are wont to do. She's sassy and sarcastic, and she loves puns. She's been around for a while now, and she's been to Avernus. She's been everywhere, so she's kind of just like your really chill aunt at this point. I love Idle Champions, and I remember when Satine went in, and I was so excited for her, and just like seeing all your friends pop up in this game, and it was so cool. And when they actually said, hey, we're going to put Ariza in the game, I was like, oh, this is so cool. What's her hair going to look like? And I mean, those were my great concerns. And she does, in fact, have two natural hairstyles. She has braids and an afro. I'm very pleased with this. It's just very surreal to see this character just go from your brain to fan art to canon.
So there's a brand new show that's being put on by Idle Champions, and you're in it. Tell me about the show.
Yeah, so Idle Champions presents, and I am in the second full stream that's coming out. I made it onto the poster though, so I was really thrilled about that because it was a Labyrinth reference for the poster, freely holding us all in his mechanical hand. And so yeah, this show is taking characters from the game and bringing them back to the tabletop. So it's this Inception thing where they started at the tabletop and then they made it into Idle Champions, and then now coming back to the tabletop. And I'm playing my character Briv Steelmarrow, that I just completely love playing because he is completely a troublemaker to the nth degree, and so I can't wait to see what kind of shenanigans that I'm going to be able to get into with such an incredible cast. B. Dave Walters is running the game. We've got Christina, Mark Meir. I've played with him before in just home games, and he's just impeccable. And so really can't wait to play with such an incredible cast, and with B. Dave running the game especially.
And this game is going to be chaos. Like, you and I have played many games influenced by the community, and that is true for this one as well, right?
That is wow. We are going to be in a lot of trouble then if it's votes. So yes, being able to take in what the community is saying and react to that. But that, truthfully, that's my favorite part of D&D, is being able to improvise with whatever situation that's put in front of you. And especially, this is the thing, I talk to people about this all the time, that in real life, I'm probably, and this is going to sound very flattering to myself and I don't mean it that way, but in real life, I'm probably closer to a Captain America, where in games, I play closer to a Tony Stark. Like, so in real life, what I'm getting at with that is, I'm pretty responsible person, pretty buttoned up, but then for whatever reason the characters that I play in these games are just complete messes that don't know how to act normal, that don't know how to fit in, and all of those things. And so Briv is absolutely that. So when you throw the additional element of having votes determine different factors of the gameplay and what's going on, this is going to be a really, really wild ride.
And you've not been able to play, you haven't played Briv in quite some time. So is this going to be like old hat for you, or like will Briv have gained any wisdom?
It's a definite no on that second one, because literally his wisdom score is still like a 9, I think. So he has not gained any wisdom. But ultimately, yeah, it has been a little while since I've been able to play Briv, at least on a stream game. I actually snuck him into a couple of home game situations from the time where I stepped away from Beyond Heroes. I kind of, had some bandwidth concerns, had a lot on the plate. And so I had to step away from it for a little while. I'm getting to a point now where I do have the bandwidth to not only play Briv again, but I'll be doing a lot more, streaming in the coming days too. Again, I am just really, really looking forward to playing Briv again, especially with a cast as talented as this. And there's just something about that concept that you have these characters, because I actually had Idle Champions pulled up even earlier today. And of course, it's maybe a little bit narcissistic, but I, always have Briv in the rotation, right?
Yeah.
Now I have Averin in there, and I have all my friends in my rotation. It's probably not optimal at all, but I have all my friends, and that's what's great about Idle Champions just in general is how you can have that. And so having that as your formation and going forward with it, and then just to be able to sit there and think like I do sometimes when I am lost in thought about something else that I'm working on, and I look at that screen and then I start almost imagining adventures that you could have with these characters inside the video game. And we're going to get to do that in this game, and so it's going to be really exciting.
This show is going to feature characters from Idle Champions, established characters, being played by often the people who originated them. So unlike myself, a lot of these characters their origin was at the tabletop. They were people's established PCs who then went on to greater fame through streaming or whatnot, and then subsequently got brought into Idle Champions. I sort of did it the other way around. I played Baloth. Baloth was created, I believe, by Andrew Foley at Beamdog originally, and Andrew did a lot of the writing. He's the one who came up with, for example, Baloth's tilt towards alliteration and whatnot, and sort of some of his more flamboyant aspects. I played him in the games, of course, and then subsequently I played him. It was for a cosplay contest, actually, that I hosted with Jessica Negri at the Edmonton Expo. And so we brought in like makeup artists, and we had Beamdog paid for Baloth's staff, for example. I actually ended up putting him into some of my games. For example, my my D&D in a Castle campaign. I had Baloth show up as an NPC villain in that, and had brought him in a few times. And then at D&D Live back in, I believe it was the 2019 show, I played Baloth in a 20th level game that B-Dave does. He does like those really high level games. And
he does.
That's perfect for Baloth because, he's a guy who can cast wish spells on his own and also has a djinn that can cast wish spells for him. So yeah, but it gets pretty crazy when you introduce Baloth. The audience not only could contribute to help the players, but also to mess with us. Certainly, being an improviser, I look forward to that sort of curveball that could be thrown towards us, and then we're just going to have to deal with whatever the audience throws at us.
It is going to be a transmedia series in the sense that the events of the show are going to directly affect the video game Idle Champions and vice versa. Not just a voting component, but literally the actions the players take on both sides of the screen are going to connect and affect how it all plays out. It should be pretty interesting. We've been working hard on it. Every week we're going to have an opportunity to vote on some things, and pending how some other in-game events shake out will affect the stream itself. Things from literally certain items. Some of the cast will get to possess certain characters that may or may not show up, the names of certain characters that may or may not show up, the intensity of some of the enemies that we will fight on the stream, or they will fight on the stream, all are going to be dictated by the audience. I think they know I'm specially qualified for this because if the audience votes like rocks fall and everybody dies, everyone knows I will do it. We've worked hard to weave in both aspects of the Unfair Seas narrative, aspects of some nods to some things that have happened in the past of Idle Champions, some nods to the things that are going to happen in the future of Idle Champions for particularly hawk-eyed viewers there. It should really be it should be a great thing, hopefully. I had the privilege to have worked with all of these people before because it is a very small world to begin with, and then the streaming world is an even smaller pocket universe within it, and just we always have a good time. And with Errand in particular, we're on Champions of Lore right now, and I always tell her, it's like, I'm glad it starts on Monday because like my week doesn't properly start until I hear Errand laugh. I love her laugh so much, so just that's like, it's like the go bell of like, okay, I'm free to like do things this week. And Mark and Christina are of course brilliant, go way back. Vivka and I go way back. Redacted and I go way back, and it's always good to play with them. I don't know that I have ever run a game for Christina yet. I don't think I've run one for Vivka either, so that'll be new. And some of the other people coming in part 2 that I'm vaguely alluding to, I don't know if I've run for them either. So it'll be a good time to just get out and just enjoy ourselves. And we are back. A wild Christina will be rejoining us shortly. There she is, seamless. You all have made your way down the Chaos Flu. Again, thanks to the people of Idle Champions there. Gotten ahead of Rare Door in his ogre assistants, whose names are the verbal spell components of Tonka, Troy, and Tad. I also will give you the second Idle Champions code now, which is the finale of Fools. So, Theth Inol E off Ools. It legit works every time.
Continues to function as a juggle component.
The Finale of Fools is the second chess code, and you are now again here squaring off against Raredor, Tonka, Troy, and Tad. As you see them all come into the clearing, and he says, "Have I got a joke for you?" Roll initiative, everybody. Because they are kind of strong, I'm going to split them up in initiative here. Let's see. Ooh. Okay. Perfect. All right. Hold on. I'm going to get your initiatives in a second. And they all have very different stat blocks, which is interesting. These are ogres out of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything variant. So there you go. They are not all the same. Interesting. All right. Let's see. So we got that here. We'll do. Okay. Okay, Havilar, what's your initiative?
17.
19?
17.
17, Alindra?
13.
13, Briv?
7.
Just, it's better to just let them all do what they're going to do and then just like smite them honorably.
Gives me more time to decide how to smite.
Makes total sense. Baloth?
Baloth also rolled a 7. It's because he's currently discussing with Najim. Just like, now, Najim, you have to understand, you are an employee of mine. And so it's going on.
Najim just wants to get back and read his book.
I definitely should have left before all this happened. Ariza?
I got a 9.
Wow. Okay. You know what? But believe it or not, one of the ogres got a 1. So there you go. So it's not all terrible. Yeah. All right. So let me arrange everybody here. Move Ariza. Briv has not activated the Steel Marrow yet, correct?
We'll say no.
All right. Perfect. You all see Raredor looks at all of you, and he kind of like stares at you for a moment and looks at Havilar, the sturdiest looking of all of you. Actually, well, no, she's got such a pretty dress on. We'll let fate decide. I mean, you all look such fashionable.
Brim doesn't look too stout with his jester's costume.
That's what I'm
on.
saying. Yeah. You know what? We're gonna let fate decide. If it's even, he comes at Briv. If it's odd, he'll go at Havilar. Let's see. It is even. He comes for you, Briv.
I am a fool.
May I quote you on that?
As he approaches, Baloth yells out, "Stay back! We're adorable!"
And he, hold on. Let me see. I believe this has been modified. Let's see. 1 second, because he hits pretty hard. Nope, that's not modified. Okay. He comes for, what is your
armor class?
AC currently? Yes.
19. Oh, no, sorry. That would only be 11.
Yep.
But as a reaction, he's full on coming at me like he's going to hit me.
Yep.
So for my reaction, I do want to draw the metal out then.
Excellent. Which makes your AC into what?
19.
You see, Briv, he comes forward with his axe, and he sort of like looks at you for a second and hesitates and swings not very powerfully. But when the metal leaps to life, which, by the way, what does your iron red panda lycanthropy look like?
So it definitely is doing all of the strands out. It kind of looks like a symbiote or something coming out of his furry skin. And as it comes out, it arranges itself in kind of block form where it ends up looking like almost like a pixelated red panda.
Like a Minecraft panda. Perfect. Yeah. After he swings the first time and the metal leaps to life, he looks at you and goes, "Oh, not so defenseless after all," and swings a second time like he's serious and hits you for 25 points of damage, Briv. And you all see the axe bites deeply into the metal panda, and he just goes, "Not so funny now, is it? Not so funny now!" as he is towering over you. That brings us to Havilar.
Havilar is never likes going first because she does not know how to read the room. She has one skill, which is chopping things with a glaive, but we're not supposed to just randomly chop things because this guy is just mad because it's a bad joke. So she's gonna be like, the joke wasn't funny, and she's like looking at Alindra, and we brought bubbles. Do anything?
Did the flame do anything? The wall of flame that should have blocked them from attacking Briv at least, and they should have taken some damage from it.
I will say he definitely took damage from it. So you could you go ahead and roll the damage on the wall of flame.
So that is
in
24 points of damage.
Okay, what's the save on that, by the way?
Dex 16.
He does not make it. He just lowers his head and charges through it. You said it was 26 points of fire damage?
24, and if he ends his turn within it or inside the wall, he will take additional.
He definitely came through the wall and went after Briv. 24. Okay, my mathing. Perfect. Havilar.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a performance or persuasion check.
10.
Havilar, he turns and looks at you and he just says, so not here to fight, eh? You realize the joke wasn't funny. Why the wall of fire? Why all this fearsome weaponry? I won't be fooled so easily. And you hear the ogres are like, "Oh, we thought it was a joke. No, it's not a joke. Oh, we're fighting. Oh, we're fighting still. Okay, we're gonna be fighting then. Sorry." Anything else from Havilar?
I assume that was my action.
I'll still give you a bonus action if you want.
Are any of the ogres nearby, or are they still on the other side?
They're on the other side of the wall of fire. They haven't come through yet. But you did hear them say like, "Well, we'll be fighting then. Sorry."
I'm not going to run through the wall of fire. It seems like a very bad idea.
I mean, the giant's on this side of the wall of fire.
That's a good point.
You also recall, any of you that are attacking with weapons always have the option of doing non-lethal damage if that is your choice. You can crack him with the flat of the blade, the blunt ends of things, etc.
I will poke him with the pole arm, and if I can have a bonus action, and be like, "Stop hitting my friend!"
Perfect. This axe is like chopped into bread. You're like, quit it. Yeah, go ahead and attack.
That's 26.
That is more than enough to hit him. You see, although his axe is gigantic, his armor, it just looks like it's more like padding and cloth.
It just does 8 damage.
Excellent. Are you going for non-lethal, or are you going to let him have it?
Part of me thinks Havilar doesn't quite know how to pull a punch.
Valid.
Especially if she's doing this, because she's like, "Wait, you just hit Briv!" Pow! So
valid.
That one was maybe a little hard.
Excellent. You got like right in the edge of the knee. And boom. And he just looks at you. "Oh, yeah. So bothersome," and stops and just kind of itches, like scratches himself slightly. All right. Anything else from Havilar?
She's going to tell Zuni to be ready to attack, but not necessarily sick Zuni on the giant yet, because she's still like, "Are we supposed to kill him? I don't know if we're supposed to kill him."
Zuni is with her majestic panda hair blowing in the wind. It looks very excited, but just kind of like crouches down, looking back between the ogres and the giant, getting ready for you to give her the word. Perfect. Alindra, it is your turn.
I would like to try something. Do they look like they would have any sort of conversation with us? Is there a way to intercept their rampaging? To see if they would.
Give me insight.
All right. 22.
With a 22, you feel like you noticed a couple of things. You notice he didn't hit Briv as hard as he could until he was sure Briv could take it. And his face, although it does look angry, he also looks kind of sad. And the ogres themselves were like, oh, we're not fighting. Oh, we are fighting. Oh, okay, we're fighting. Like, I mean, when you were like, we don't have to fight, they were like, Kay? And he's like, yes, we do. And they're like, oh, all right. So it might be possible to reason with them, yes.
So then might I try using command on the ogre, on the giant, and say, parlay. And using the luck die from earlier today, I have foreseen this moment, and he will get a 4 on his save.
He just sort of looks at you for a second, and the axe just kind of falls to the ground with a heavy thud, like boom.
If there is need to fight later, we can always fight later, but it's tougher to talk when we're fighting later. So figured talk first, and then we could perhaps engage in a combat if necessary. But
Briv,
hello.
You do feel he kind of puts his boot on your chest, yanks the axe out.
Oh, that part always hurteth the worst.
Before he drops it. It does seem like, at least for the time being, he is willing to talk. However, it is the ogre's turn as he turns and looks.
As a bonus action, can I use a healing word on Briv?
Yeah.
And I will use the verbal component of if cast a healing word on Briv for 5 points of healing.
You see on the other side, you hear, oh, all right, okay, we're fighting. Oh, I hate fire. Oh, and one of them lowers his head, and I've sent you pictures of what all of these guys look like to our group chat. One of them just lowers his head and just charges through and swings his chain over his head at you, Havilar. Because you were just most recently poking the boss. Hold on a second. Let's see here. What is your AC, Havilar?
15.
He does hit you. Give me a con save.
That is a 24.
He hits you for 13 points of damage with this chain, and it really rings your bell, Havilar. Like, I mean, everything kind of starts ringing, and like space sort of extends for a second. But you do manage to keep your wits about you. And he goes, boom! He goes, oh, sorry, we're fighting, apparently. And from the other side of the wall, you hear, fighting! Incoming! And you hear squee! As a wild boar comes hurtling through the wall of fire towards you all.
Oh my goodness.
20 points of damage for everything that passes through the wall.
Yes.
Unless they save.
Yes, no.
So dex 16.
All right, well, let's see. First of all, does the piggy squirm out of it? The piggy doesn't, so there's a flaming pig coming in right now.
Otherwise known as bacon.
Otherwise known as this is how
I was
bacon
gonna say,
got
does
invented.
anyone smell breakfast?
This is how it got invented. Let me double check something here because I have to go back and forth between two different things. Baloth, this pig hits you square in the chest for 7 bludgeoning and 5 slashing.
Can I cast a shield?
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me see what the actual roll is. It's going to, your shield would get you up to what?
23.
It would not be enough. So
Okay,
I'll save you the spell slot.
Thank you. So that would be 12?
7 bludgeoning and 5 slashing. Yeah, if there's a difference. And when the pig bounces off of you, it immediately goes wee, 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 and tries to like go running back to the ogre and stops at the wall of fire, very much confused and still on fire itself, actually.
Wait, what did the pig say?
Oh, it wee all the way home.
If you didn't get all the way home, you didn't get all the way home.
Not all the way. If you could speak with animals,
quite.
you would heard. And then, although Troy does not come through the fire, he's content to stand on the other side and lob flaming pigs.
If he's within 10 feet of the wall, he's going to take damage too.
Ariza, it is your turn. So the giant is on this side. One of the ogres with the chain is on this side. Although the giant currently seems like he's willing to talk, the ogres are still fighting.
I would like to go over to the ogre and say,
To go, ogre?
may I have your weapon, please?
How are you attempting to compel it to turn over its weapon?
I'm going to use persuasion.
I mean, roll it.
The 27.
He just looks at you for a second and he goes, well, you are a majestic creature and all, but I can't help but think this is a trick of some sort.
I just want to see it. No, just let me hold it for a second. It's really cool. I really like it. I've never seen anything like it. It's one of the most beautiful things that I've ever seen. And I would be remiss if I didn't try to just hold it for a second.
He turns and looks at Raredor, who currently is magically compelled to not be fighting with his axe down. And he just goes, ooh. All right, but if it's like a trick, though, he's going to make me thump you in the head, you know. And he does just drop this chain on you that probably weighs 250 pounds, Ariza. Just...
Well, I mean, you could have just put it down.
Well, I did. I just put it down right now. It's just you was under it, though. You're very small,
Yeah,
you know.
but it's about consideration. Just because you're larger doesn't mean that you don't have to look out for those that are smaller than you.
I mean, no, literally, I have to look out for someone larger than me. That's actually my job, miss.
Yeah, I understand, but you also have to think about the grand scheme of things.
There's a
Because
grand
people
scheme.
are gonna. There is a grand scheme to all things.
But you do have his weapon, Ariza.
I'm gonna hold on to this for a second, okay?
Well, but we supposed to be fighting, though, so I'm gonna need it back because I gotta do more thumping. Sorry, miss. He does look at you,
But what if
Havilar.
we don't fight?
He's like, you know, not a lot of people can take that. I knocked a Minotaur stone flat with that swing, and you still got your wits about you. You're made out of tough stuff. It's a pretty frilly dress you got, though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, there's three ogres. You're pretty sure the one in the middle is complimenting you. Although, anything else for Ariza?
No, she just wanted to get that away from him, and maybe it'll make them all stop and think for a second.
For the moment, he is disarmed and apologetic, but he's telling you we're supposed to be fighting, though. All right, Briv, it is your turn. Again, currently, the ogre, the frost giant's axe is down, and the other ogre is talking to Ariza. One of them is shooting flaming pegs at you, which is just a sentence I've been blessed to say out loud. And a third one who has not done anything yet, but you do kind of hear like raucous chaos on the other side of the wall of fire.
So going through the wall damages me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would know that, right? Okay. So
You have lived it. You're intimately familiar with Alindra's walls of fire.
And I'm not doing incredibly well. So what Briv is going to do here is he is going to, you know, as he has kind of the blocky red panda mech suit look going on here, he is going to kind of start like bending the metal back, and he's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself, but not before he says, "I have a joke for thee." And then he's like looking at the ogres and he says, "What dost thou call an average ogre?" "Mediocre."
Alindra takes a second and she goes, That was actually quite clever.
Roll charisma with advantage, Briv.
Okay. Oh man, this die is taking forever. I'm gonna just roll this one manually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that was with advantage because I rolled a 1 on that first one. But then
What'd you say about me, Mom? Yeah, right.
it's gonna be 20, 22 on the second.
You see
Needy ogre, not mummy ogre.
you see the one that dropped his chain, which based on what people told you in town is probably Tonka. Very much starts to laugh and just kind of like nudges you, Alindra or Ariza, with one of his gargantuan hands. I mean, the giant's about 15 feet tall. They're about 8 feet tall. They're smaller than him, but still way bigger than you. And they're like, mediocre.
I thought it was hilarious.
He is laughing. Anything else from Briv?
No, he's just healing, and
Perfect.
so I'm gonna roll that real quick.
Bailoth?
Now, with everybody engaged in conversation and getting weapons from people, I assume that we're no longer in a good grouping for a fireball, are we?
Well, on the other side of the wall of fire are 2 of the ogres. You don't. You can see them through the wall. One of them has a big crossbow. That is the one that has not acted yet. And the other one has a basket of what looks like it is full of more pigs on the other side.
A lot of potential bacon for
Yes.
the fireball.
Exactly. Well, let's help that bacon along, shall we? Nobody shoots pigs at Bailoff the Entertainer. Let's go with an upcast 4-double fireball.
I appreciate everybody's like, we could just talk, right? Yeah. Bailoff's like, or maybe we can't.
Yeah. No, Bailoff was like, yeah, maybe we can talk this out, pig. All right, you.
Very valid. He did hit you first, Bailoff. What's their save?
This will be a DC 19 dex save.
One of them makes it, and one of them does not.
So one of them will take all of this damage.
Okay. Exactly.
One of them
Junie, calm
takes,
down.
Yeah.
one of them will take 31 points of damage, and the other will take 15.
Okay, hold on here. Let me make sure I get them right.
Although, actually, now that I think of it, I can empower that, being a sorcerer.
If you'd like to, sure.
Yeah. I'm going to re-roll a few of those dice here. Just a second. It'll be 31 minus 5 plus...
No.
So this will be 25 plus whatever this is.
Okay.
25 plus 8, so 33. So the one that's failed takes 33, and the one that succeeded takes 16.
All right. You hear, ow, 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 as this explosion goes off, and all the pigs are like, wee, wee, rah, rah, rah.
There's more there where that came from.
And Tonka, who's there on this side, looks at you and he goes, oh, well, I suppose that's turnabout is fair play, right? We hit you with the flaming pig first. Excuse me.
All right, we're even now. Look,
Ooh.
we're willing to offer you the villager Bairn for your dining pleasure. He's the one who started this.
He was.
No.
No, we're not.
We're all in agreement. You can eat it.
No.
I am in agreement.
No one said that.
This does bring us back to the top, and it is Raredor's turn. Alindra, being so compelled, although technically the compulsion has ended, you didn't have a chance for it to work yet. He just looks at you and he says, "Nobody asked me if I wanted to be a part of the jokes. Nobody asked Raredor if I had any tricks to play."
Did you not get your invitation?
Ooh, they said that they was bringing the invitation to me, as he starts to scratch a little bit, because thanks to the voters of Idle Champions, Raredor is not mad. He is sad that he was left out.
Oh.
He goes,
FOMO caused all of this.
mm-hmm.
Wow.
He does, however, say, "You all seem nice, but I still think this is a trick," and picks his axe up again and goes to attack. Although,
So he doesn't have to follow the command on his next turn, which is now?
but he did parlay. You didn't say don't attack, you said parlay. He did. He told you that he's sad because he's left out.
Okay.
Yep. However, you get the distinct impression that he's not fighting with his full heart in this. He kind of like chokes up on the axe a little bit, and Alindra goes to swing at you, but very much almost a stage swing.
And I will do a stage like tumble out of the way as if we were doing stage combat and like make it a game kind of thing. Because they want to fight, but we can make it an entertaining fight instead.
And Bela.
So I do the like the face slap of the
Yeah. Bela, however, he looks at you and he just goes, "Sorcerer," huh? And swings his axe over at you, which will hit unless you put your shield up. You are muted, but I believe that as you're saying you want to put your shield up.
Shield is going up, yes. That is a charge off the staff of defense.
Bailoff, give me a perception check.
That will be an 18 total.
The axe very much collides with your shield, driving you back in the dirt. But you notice he hits you with the flat of it. Even as he swings it, it's more almost like a backhand, not trying to take your head off with it. I mean, it's still a solid pop, but you are aware. That brings us to Havilar. It is your turn. However, Havilar, you also give me a perception check.
It's a 9.
He said he was sad, but then he super tried to kill Alindra and Bailoff.
See,
He's super
it's
tried to kill
unfortunate
him.
I rolled so bad because I feel like Havilar would like get this. Because like this is when she's like she wants to fight things because that's like she's competent, she's getting out her energy.
You know what?
Did you include your bonus die?
You know what?
I did.
I can
It just rolled real bad.
I can accept that Havilar understands getting the zoomies. I'll let you roll it with advantage here. Roll.
That one's a 19.
Same thing. You're like, hey, wait a second.
So she's actually gonna go at him the same way. Like she's gonna attack, but she's like, oh, we're sparring! Get it! So she'll no, don't do that. Do this. So that is a 24 hit on the first one.
That reminds me, one of the ogres didn't do a thing yet. Okay, but yes, please. Well, let's resolve this because we're in the middle of this.
He's standing going.
One of the ogres didn't act, so I need to resolve that. But yes, 24 is enough to hit him.
And then that one's a 19.
That is also enough to hit him.
And then I will go ahead and do the back of the glaive thing as soon as the dice are done being dramatic.
Are you attempting non-lethal damage here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and that one is a 22.
That is also enough.
Okay, so she's like basically taking the glaive and she's doing like when kids sort of stick fight and just like hitting him on the shaft of the axe.
Got it.
And going, it's not fun when people play tricks unless you're both having fun, right?
Alindra. Technically, this would have resolved at the end of last turn, so I will count this against last round's reactions because he should have gone on a 1. You hear after the fireball, "Oh, I couldn't hear anything over the sound of the immolation, but we're fighting, right? Come incoming, hit the deck." And you hear the crossbow go off, and the bolt is flying straight at you, Alindra. And will
shield,
hit.
Please.
Unless you put the shield up. Bing! Bounce off. Alright, that's cheating. We ain't got no magic armor. Hard to see through this wall. Hey.
It's not cheating if you don't want to get hit.
I suppose that's valid. I didn't want to get set on fire, though, and here we are.
But we were attacking.
Well,
Who started this?
well, but we're fighting. No. Them little villagers started it, if you...
Right, but we're not the villagers. And the
I mean,
villagers made a terrible mistake, unfortunately.
You look like villagers.
But we're not.
And technically, Alindra, it is your... what was that damage, Havilar, by the way?
28.
Perfect. You begin pummeling him, presumably laughing while you're doing it. And Raredor looks down at you and goes, Oh, I'm an old man, you know. I can't take...
Sorry.
Oh. Ooh. Stings a bit when you do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Alindra, it is your turn.
So it would seem, and I'm continuing to do the stage fighting with him. But your invitation, got lost somewhere in the way up. Oh, there's a family of owlbears, living in a clearing of could we just pause for one moment because this is quite difficult to speak while we're doing that.
Give me persuade. I mean, he's the size of a 2-story building, so I mean, it is.
Yeah.
Give me persuasion, unless you're going to do something else.
No, I mean, I was going to try and talk him into just being cool.
Yeah, give me persuasion.
So, 15. No, 15.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. He, after boom.
I'll drop the fire too.
Turns and looks, and he looks back at you, and he's like, "You really want to help me play a trick on the town?"
Well, let's talk about what your definition of trick is, because there have been some gnarly definitions of trick that aren't quite accurate for what a prank should be. Prank should be fun for everyone involved. It should be the sort of thing that happens and everyone laughs, not the sort of thing that happens and people die or get
Or we could kill them all.
No, that's not a prank. So we can pause and talk about it? Have everyone take a few moments?
Oh, we're not fighting then. Tonka looks down at you, Arise. Is like, can I have me chain? We're not fighting. I promise I won't thump you on the head with it. Probably, unless he tells me to, really. You know how it is. Orders is orders and whatnot. You are muted, ma'am.
You're muted.
I think I should hold on to it until we come to a understanding across the board.
Well, but you're so little and it's heavy. Look at that. It's just like you're a cute little panda just struggling to hold up me chain.
I'm not a panda for real.
I mean, you're like a double panda.
Like
you are
panda.
literally a panda dressed like a panda. Well, you're like a double panda.
I think Eddie thinks we look like villagers.
You're all very small. Speaking
I was gonna say, I love that the ogre is just like, you're about this big. That's a villager, right?
They're all over there and they're weird. Yeah. Right.
All right.
You have a foam party you could do.
What? You see that on the other side of where the wall of fire was, you hear the squealing of the pigs that were panicked, and the one flaming pig runs right back over to him, and he goes, "Oh, Penelope, look what they done to you, baby," and pats it to put it out.
A friend named Penelope as well.
Really? Is your friend named Penelope like a little piggy, like a tough little
And
piggy?
sometimes
She sometimes resembles a little pig.
she does. Most of the time she looks more like a shrub, but sometimes she does look like a pig.
A pig shrug. Wow. Wait, hold on. If we're done fighting, can one of you help my little friend here? She's all burned up on account of the wall, you see. I shot her through it.
Eliza?
Sure. I'll heal your pig.
That soundeth like your problem.
Oh, but we was fighting, though. You
It
see.
has a name.
And he hoists up this launcher, and he's like, "No, right, this is how it works, right? Come on, Penelope." And you see the little warthog runs up to him, turns around, and leans up on her front 2 legs, and he just puts it down on her like a potato gun and points, and you see this warthog head inside. He's like, yeah, and then I just boom. It's very efficient.
Yes, I'm aware of how it works. Thank you very much.
Well, sorry, mate. Again, we was fighting. But wait. Important vibe check. We done fighting.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we are.
I mean, I was good to begin with, so.
Thou didst get pig slapped.
Yeah, that's a funny big slap. I like this one too. Yeah.
The other joke was better.
He walking mediocre. That was funny.
Mediocre was good.
You see, it is Troy that comes over and like sits down and rotates where you can see the face of 5 pigs inside. There's a black one, a green one, a white one, a blue one, and a red one.
That's a familiar configuration.
Mm-hmm.
Or looks at this and she looks at Zuni. She's like, how big would it have to be to launch a hellhound?
He looks at you and he's like, I probably could construct a functioning prototype. The hard part is not escaping the velocity of the planet. The hard part is surviving re-entry.
She's really tough. I don't know if I'm tough enough to write her, but I would like to pursue this opportunity because it sounds amazing.
It would be my life's work, ma'am, to build a giant panda launcher.
Oh, that's right. I'm still a panda.
Yeah, it's the only you they've ever known. Right, Zuni's a panda also. A glorious.
We are all pandas.
Yeah. And you see Raredor looks back at you, Alindra, and says, I haven't lived here long, but every year they have their festival, and no one invites us or lets us participate in the fun. And even today, those villagers came and put itching powder on me and were going to set my shoes on fire until I caught up to them. We should probably check the cave. I left them tied up, but they might freeze to death if we're not careful.
We set several of them free and gave them a serious talking to about what constitutes a fair prank.
Oh.
Also, have you ever asked to be included? Or did you just make the assumption that... Yes.
I'm a sage, They come and ask me all manner of questions. I didn't want to impose by assuming we could come
How
visit.
would they know, then, that you wanted to participate?
They didn't know we didn't want to participate.
True.
I knoweth a great prank. We can have thee go into the village just like thou wert going to destroy everything and kill everyone. And then I can come before thee like a herald and say, what dost thou call a fear of giants? And then thou canst answer and say, fee, fi, phobia. And it will slay them. And then thou canst say, I shall be here all week.
You had me at the first half there. I thought you were going to make one of those hurtful, stereotypical giant jokes, but you switched it on me.
It is fairly stereotypical, I admit.
Yes, that joke punches down. All the way down because he's a giant, you see.
It's because I'm bigger than all of you.
You're bigger than us, yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
More than twice the size, yes.
Yes, Arisa.
So I have an idea and had an idea for something that could be a prank, but what if instead of a prank, you threw your own party? You throw a party and you invite the townspeople and you have a foam party.
I love that idea.
We do have significant moisture in the caves, but you saw how high our cave was. How do we know they'd come? I'd be very disappointed if I decorated and made hors d'oeuvres and snacks and then no one came.
They probably shall get eaten by owlbears.
But even if only a few people come, then that's still okay because that's a few new friends. You don't need all the people, you just need some of them.
Give me persuasion, Ariza.
Ooh.
Why is it not showing it to me?
You got a 26.
Oh, a 26.
He just sort of like nods for a moment. And he's like, if we went to make arrangements for a party, would you all go to town and invite everyone for us?
Yes, certainly.
You
A
see,
question before we answer that. Shall there be libations on hand?
oh yes, if you haven't had frost giant mead, you haven't lived.
Very well. We shall agree to thine terms.
Punch and
He
pie.
kneels all the way down, which, I mean, he goes from about 15 feet still to about 8 feet. So it's towering over you still, Ariza. And he says, might I make an inquiry?
Of course. We're having a conversation. That's how this works.
I realize your panda countenance is unusual, but your voice is familiar to me. Do you sing?
Yes.
Has anyone ever told you your voice sounds just like Oriza's?
I am Oriza. I'm just Panda Riza right now.
Have you been bewitched by some manner of curse that has made you into a panda in a panda?
So many curses.
Holophant. The Holophant did it. I mean, it's actually quite comfortable, and it has pockets.
It's
Usually,
no.
my clothes don't have pockets.
No,
especially pockets of this size.
I understand the value of warm clothing in the winter. It is a look.
Thanks.
Another question, and he turns and looks at you, Baloth. You have the bearing of an entertainer.
Oh, yes, yes. As a matter of fact, I'm one of the top entertainers and spellcasters in the realms.
He killed Hallister Blackcloak.
Thou hast slain Hallister Blackcloak.
Definitely the real one as well, and not some deluded drunk.
I don't know that I have the coin to compensate the great Oriza, but perhaps I might be able to impress upon you to sing at our party.
Oh, yes, I would be delighted to do so. And may I say, I think that your plan is going to be perfect. After all, it was a feeling of FOMO that brought you to this sad state to begin with. Time to spread that FOMO around like it was foam, oh?
Ooh.
That is what we should call it, FOMO.
It works on several levels. I've counted 3 so far.
I do not get it.
We'll explain later.
There's foam.
I don't really get it much,
I don't
Ava.
get the other part.
And you see Tad is like, but to be clear, I'm not shooting nobody else in, right?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, please don't. No more
No.
injuries, killing, those sorts of things. Let's not have that.
He looks
now.
visibly disappointed and he goes, well, it makes sense because you kill people, ain't no more people to joke with, right?
Correct.
Right.
However, you 3 gentlemen who seem to be rather pugnacious might be interested in an offer of employment that I have. I know that, of course, you work for our larger friend over here, but maybe a little moonlighting in the Black Pits?
Rador, could we go be gladiators? Could we please, Rador? He's, I'm sure we could work something out. And they're like, oh, where do we sign? We ain't even
Right
gonna
here, right
read
here.
it, Baylor. We want in on
X.
the contract.
Just an X here and an X here. It's great. And I've got one for you as well, Briv.
Hey, don't wait on signing that, please.
No, not yet. All right.
I will evaluate it before you
I
sign
shall
anything,
pass
please.
this over to mine legal team.
Who reads Infernal?
I can comprehend
do.
languages, so I can.
Yes, yeah. I appreciate that you'd understand the words, just not the contract, probably.
No. I definitely will not be getting into law school anytime soon.
Maybe we should have read it, but that's all right. What's the worst that could happen in signing a contract we didn't read in Infernal with Baloth, the legendary entertainer?
You're going to be fine.
They
You're
are
gonna be
entering a
fine.
contract of their own free will, and it's not my place to interfere.
I can
Perhaps
probably wall up
Poor
Baloth
Minds
if
of
I
the
hate it.
Pits as a title for your friends there.
It's gonna be great. So, important point of clarification. First of all, is anybody going to help them build the foam dispensers for the foam party in the cave?
I would like to take this moment to express that if there is one thing that I do well, it is a party. And I think that we have proper tenants that we need to take care of as we build to this. We need someone to handle the dress code. We need someone to handle the food. We need someone to work on that inner struggle that you're having with yourself. And well, let's see. I think we've about covered most of them. Oh, long-term goals. We need to talk about that. But for right now, we also need someone to go and get the guests, invite the guests, or we could all go and do that together. But I think that first we need to make sure that everything is in place. I think Havilar, based on that amazing dress that you're wearing, you should be in charge of decor. And you can use Zuni to get up and to decorate.
That's a good idea.
Also the giants and all that fun stuff.
They are very
Obviously, I'll be handling the fashion.
I've got a fourth level spell slot left, so I can actually cast a major illusion that will be permanent. So I can take care of like a light show and whatnot, etc., to enhance the decorations.
All right. Who's going to do the buffet?
I think Rev wants to.
Picketh me.
Okay.
Picketh me.
Okay,
Please make
you
sure it's
take it.
nutritionally balanced and there are vegetarian options.
You do.
Please make sure
I
there's
don't know
seasoning.
what a vegetarian is, but there will be so many delicious meats and cheeses and bacon. And he looks over at the
Not Penelope. No bacon. No.
possibly not Penelope's bacon, but there shall be bacon.
Well, as long as it ain't from like no pigs I knew personally.
Very well. Thou canst abstain thine conscience how thou needest to.
You're making Penelope uncomfortable.
I knew she had it in her.
Even
She's trying so hard to keep a straight face.
Even the little pig is like is like laughing at that one. They're keen into bacon humor. So Briv is going to handle the food. Okay.
And do remember that we all promised them they could eat beer.
Eat beer.
We did not promise that.
I'm sure someone said that. I'm sure someone said that in the heat of battle.
No, we are
I
not
guess it's
ingesting any sentient beings at this party. It's not that sort of festival.
Fine.
Alindra, you're on inner peace.
Excellent.
I
think you'll be
thought I was on food.
That's inner pieces. We're talking about inner peace. Like
No,
within oneself.
it's a
Self-love.
significant overlap there between like eating good food and feeling happy. It's true.
Agreed.
There is. But you also need to learn to
We should
cope.
also work on some meditation, perhaps some breathing techniques if you'd like to learn them.
Well, we's good at breathing. We do it all the time. We breathing right now.
I know, it's so impressive.
What?
Yeah. So if you slow that down, you count in for 4, out for 4, in for 8.
Thine
out for
deviated
8.
septum really does not help thee.
What?
So,
yes, Baloth.
tell me, my frost giant friend, is there any particular style or theme of decor you want to go with? I was thinking of an illusion of Tiamat locked in battle with Bahamut. How's that sound?
As long as Tiamat's winning, because Bahamut is dumb.
The others probably wouldn't agree, but all right. We'll see what we can do. Ooh, is there any frost giant myths you'd like lovingly depicted? Because this will permanently be in your home, so you probably want to settle on something that you enjoy.
I retired as a scout to have time along with me books and learning, maybe some scenes from my illustrious career.
Okay, I'm going to need to sit down and interview you.
Interview.
There is no time
Bela.
for
I'll put up
backstory
streamers.
exposition.
Wait,
Yeah, you're right. Give me the gist.
I'll tell you on the way to the cave.
Okay.
So, yes, have a
Curtains,
Oh.
not streamers.
Oh, curtains. Do we have somebody to go get the guests? Or
I will go get the guests.
I thought
doing
you
your
were
thing?
getting the
Food.
food.
I have to go into town to get the food. Where else am I going to get it?
that is a good point. Actually, I don't know.
Very
Maybe
valid.
Frost Giants have pantries.
I doubt it.
Weren't we all going to go together once we'd finished our individual
Assignments.
You're gonna
Yeah.
prep the party, and then okay. So here's how we're gonna do this. We're gonna prep the party, then we're gonna go get the people. So,
All right.
Baloth and Ariza, give me charisma checks. Just straight up charisma checks. Havilar, give me athletics. Alindra, give me insight. And Briv, give me.
I am proficient in cooking utensils and all of those things. Just to let you know.
I had not lost track of the fact that Briv actually can cook. What do you usually roll to? Is it survival coverage
It's
cooking?
like,
What is it?
since I'm proficient in that tool, I typically just add proficiency bonus and then whichever ability score you want me to add to it.
Then you roll with your proficiency bonus. Then yes.
Yeah, so I essentially put I cook more by feel, so I'm gonna say charisma if that's okay, because
Perfect.
I'm definitely not a baker. So we'll do
It's
that.
an art rather than a science.
It's
That's
true.
it.
If somebody recently said to me that cooking was necromancy because you took something that was dead and brought it back to life, and that has lived rent free in my mind ever since. I was like, it's necromancy.
That is very much
Necromancy.
Briv's approach.
Yeah.
Now,
And I got a 25.
I assume
Perfect.
all the raw materials for Brib's feast that he's cooking were just pulling out of the sandwich box, like the.
You've got the sandwich box, and they do in fact have a larder. I mean, you've got 4 giant creatures live there, so there's like shanks of meat. You know, there's a lot of elk, a lot of like berries and fish.
Any white meat.
Yeah, lots of eggs.
No.
No,
We
there's-
don't need to be doing that again.
Nope. Owlbear's too gamey.
I don't like what I rolled, so I'm gonna use my lucky feet
Mm-hmm.
to roll it again.
If not,
Because
now
why
win.
not?
We don't want anybody to have a bad party.
Ooh, great! That's a 23.
Perfect. 23 from Ariza. What Baloth get?
27.
Baloth, what does it look like? What you know what? Hang on, wait. We'll come back to what it actually. Yeah, let's go back a step to Ariza there. Ariza. So again, sweeping cavernous network. Like there's many caves through here, and there's the large central chamber where the Mephits were. But the Mephits are back in when you come back. But when they see Raredor and the ogres, they don't give you any trouble. But they are an extra pair of hands. They're not unintelligent. Although it's difficult to talk to them. What does Ariza do in here?
So, is somebody writing this down? Is anybody writing this
He'll
down?
write it down.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm
retain.
thinking is like maybe like some pipe and drape, just very flowy through here because that actually would look really great. But make sure it's a clear gauze so that certain areas of the foam party are collecting foam in the corners. So it's just sitting there, but it can, but then if people walk through, maybe a tarp. No, I don't like that. I'm not okay with that. No,
No
scratch that.
tarps.
Scratch that. No tarps.
Sad. Hate tarps.
Do like a pergola style thing. So just some lines and
Ariza, what's a
yeah,
pergola?
okay.
I don't know what that is either.
it's
Do I have to hunt it?
Okay, so no
Well,
pergola.
you
We're
see,
gonna scratch the pergola.
Tad holds up his crossbow. He's like, I can kill any pergola that the gods ever created. You just show me where it is. I got it at 100
She
paces.
said no pergola. Pergolas
No.
are out.
Oh,
You
we're
guys,
not.
you're messing with. It's creative vision.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
It's trying to
Sorry.
flow. It's trying to flow. I need you guys to just give me a minute. Oh my gosh, this is so stressful. Why do I do this to myself? I always put so much on myself when it comes to a party. It's okay. No. Giant circles that we could throw through the air, like made of cloth, maybe, that if we hit them back and forth, like a ball, but
Oh, like a ball.
one
yeah.
you would use in the water.
Giant
Oh,
water.
water
ball.
balls. Right.
Yeah.
Like you could use at a beach.
Yeah.
Yes,
a water ball for
exactly.
beaches.
Yeah.
A
Right.
pattern on it, perhaps.
Yeah. Sandballs. Yeah.
Inside. Yes.
We do need to make sure that we let the guests know that they need to wear something that is water
Swimwear.
resistant.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the freezing coat.
Well, they like put on
Yes.
coats
That's what
over
coats-
it.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
coats,
And then they
right?
take it off. We had like a coat
Or we could heat the
section.
bubbles.
Oh.
We could put heating areas, maybe have fire pits outside where we just for people to warm up.
Yes.
It sounds lovely. Yeah. Why didn't we think of this? Because y'all's are geniuses. That's why.
Very good.
You're strong enough to like bash a hole into the ground, right? To just like
Oh, yeah.
it's like the few of you.
No, we get holes in the floor. No, we.
I probably
Breathe
am too.
in the pit.
So.
Oh, yeah. You got like a blowtorch hound there. Even though I got no concept of a blowtorch. I know what a blacksmith is, so yeah.
Make like a hot tub. A tub with hot water
A
inside
tub
of
of
it for
hot
people to
water.
warm up.
But
When
that's
they
so,
come
so
outside.
clever.
That makes a lot of sense. Like a hot spring, but we did it on purpose. Like we made it like that.
Yes.
Hot spring.
Oh, right.
Sounded like a place that transmits diseases very easily.
What?
Oh no,
What's
no, no.
diseases? No.
I am immune. I do not
I'm a
care.
cleric. I don't care.
Anything else,
Okay.
Eliza?
It'll all come to me. It'll all come to me. It'll be beautiful when it comes together.
We have clear
I'll know once we
pots,
get to town.
foam corners, giant water ball for sand, fire pits, on purpose hot spring. It's gonna be
Yes.
amazing.
Right.
All of those
Peculiar
things.
Leela or something.
Right. No, I swear I'm going to hunt down the peculiar Lila. It will bother you no more. I already slain a gazebo. I can get a perla.
Did you fight the gazebo?
Did you really?
No, I shot it. Like it just struck stone down. Yeah, it just
Oh,
stood there. And I
my.
just, yeah.
Goodness.
Good luck with that. I'll work on your wardrobe while you find a pergola. Okay.
Do we have
What-
some sort of accommodation for someone like Iris? Would that be something comfortable for Iris to do here?
Goggles.
What's an iris?
Yeah, goggles. Yes. We should get some goggles for
Individual-
Iris. Yes. I suppose Grant could work on that. Grant is used to goggles. Grant could work on some goggles for Iris.
Yes, because you know what happens if she rolls around without them. You know, mistakes occur on occasion.
Beach party beholder. is
Exactly, beach party beholder.
what- What if Iris is the beach ball?
What if I?
should ask.
this-
That seems somewhat insensitive.
It seems it could be fun for her.
She might be
In
into
the
it.
sandwich
It's
box.
like
make-
a when you go to a concert and people are very excited and there's a
Sure.
whole bunch
It's like
of people.
crowds.
Crowd
It's
surfing.
like if a person was surfing on the crowd, but they
We could
was
talk
like,
to her if it's
Right.
something she's interested in. Perhaps we could do that. If not a problem. We can have the balls with the
Right.
the inflatable.
can make them look like Iris.
Even better.
That's
It'll be
better.
like
I
an
like
ode to
that.
Iris.
I don't
And,
even
And it
know who
starts
this-
with "I'd give up forever to touch you," because I know that you'd heal me somehow.
Just want you to, just yeah. Want you to know who I
Well,
am.
the closest to heaven.
right.
I
It's,
I
it's,
don't
you
want
gonna
the
you gonna
ogres
make me
to
you gonna
see
make
me.
me cry. No, you
No,
go you
no.
go stop it with it. It's I get emotional thinking about that song.
Also, the copyright goblins are coming.
It's true. Legally distinct dolls made out of goo.
Only did less than 2% and changed words.
That is
We
true.
are in the clear.
Indeed.
It's
Yeah.
a
Excellent.
parody if you change the words.
Excellent. Baloth, Important point of clarification, Baloth. Are you attempting to recognize any of Arise's vision via illusion, or are you just dealing with the climactic battle of the gods and the giants?
Well, I'm dealing with Raredor. Basically, I'm working with him. You're probably all observing this as this illusion begins to take form, and as he gives notes, it's like certain elements of it change. This will, as I mentioned, be a permanent illusion because I'm upcasting it. So it basically, one sort of side of the whole big ice cavern just looks like the side of a 1970s van. Like it's just, It's Raredor like on top of a white dragon with a sword raised, and there's like a female frost giant behind him, and
it's like you were there.
Yeah, it's very much. We get a real sense of Raredor's tastes and how he sees himself. There's
look
also
like the cover of Storm King's Thunder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it sort of like moves along. There's like different imagery. So there's like one of Raredor like just duking it out with a fire giant and winning, and that sort of like, as the fight goes through, it resets itself.
College.
Exactly, yeah. So all the frost giant-y stuff there, and then there's a thing of him feasting and surrounded by a bunch of more competent servants than ogres, shall we say? Like he's surrounded by a bunch of other frost giants and a bunch of books.
I have a request that you include a scene of when I retired and the tearful salutes of my fellow frost giant commandos.
Oh, yes, sure, I'll get that. There we are.
He very much walks slowly into the distance with a legally distinct Incredible Hulk music playing. So he walks a little while, looks back with his backpack full of books, and walks a little further and looks back one more time, and then walks. Yeah.
How's that? Now, Baloth is taking all his notes, but of course, like anytime he changes something, Baloth's just like, yeah, of course, I'm sure we can do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You want that changed too? Okay. Yeah. All right.
I understand why you were strong enough to defeat Alistair Blackcloak now. Yeah.
So yes, that's what Baloth's been doing.
Perfect. And what is Havilar doing here?
Well, she was taking notes for Arise's vision, but she offered to put up decorations. That was her job. So if the ogres can help find that clear gauze, she will climb the walls and hang it.
The Mephits, all in unison, kind of go, and their frost breath comes out, but it coagulates somewhat into like an icy webbing.
Take it over to Arise a bit.
It's not that different than Sylph, I suppose.
I cleaned up grosser things from Zuni, but I'm not thrilled about touching this. Will this work?
That is disgusting. And trust it.
But if I hold it up,
know
is it
about
beautiful?
disgusting.
They don't speak
Looks
common,
gorgeous.
so as you hold it up, they're like,
I'm gonna pass on that. We're gonna find something in town. It's beautiful. Thank you for the attempt and the effort, but for this part of the group project, we're gonna go in another direction.
The Mephits tune, and
but I like your enthusiasm.
The Mephits start high-fiving each other, having no concept of the fact that they're being rejected.
Maybe we give them a corner of the place so they can have their decorations and feel included, so they don't get angry and chain people to the walls again.
Is there a corner that this won't show very much?
You know what? Why don't we use it as a tablecloth?
You want to put it in your food?
Okay.
Maybe wash it first.
Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
Is there a sanitation side that you can throw in with a prestidigitation?
I mean, they're elemental creatures, so I don't know. They might have well, what's the word I'm talking about? When something sterilized, yeah. They might have sterilized.
They can get it so cold that it kills everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what?
Right.
We have 3 vast caverns, don't we? We've got all this space. So you see that wall right there? Do you see which one I'm talking about? No, further than that. Yeah, further than that. Okay. So I want you to go to that wall, and I want you to put up all of these that you could possibly muster. All over it. Make it look good. Make it however you want it.
And they
Proud of you.
Can I go help?
over by the
love them so
wall.
much.
You do hear them all.
It's really gross.
It's abstract.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gross.
Although
Well-
it is like it is almost like a frosty spider web. When they hang it, it does like shimmer and refract in the light. It's gross, but it is kind
Does
of
it
beautiful.
say some giant when they're done with it?
Nice. And you see a single tear rolls down the cheek of one of the pigs watching them do it. Yeah. It's a deep cut, kids. Read a book.
Not sure what else. I rolled athletics for
Mhm.
hanging decorations, but
Mhm.
I'm not sure if there's any decorations.
What
hanging out.
what did you get?
Well, I got a 31. It was a nice roll.
I mean, it's what don't you do, Havilar? You know, everything you're asked for. It is you're scaling up and down walls, and you managed to do it without getting your pretty dress dirty. Hanging things
It's a
up.
nice dress. I want to keep it clean.
It's a very nice dress. Yep. You do an excellent job getting everything in order with Zuni's help also. And you see, Zuni is very much loving being a pretty panda. With her, again, every time you look at her, her hair's blowing in slow motion. It's weird. You don't know how she's
You
doing
must
that.
find out what conditioner
Yeah, but-
she's using. It's lovely. And so sparkly.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's the abyss.
Maybe
The 9 health.
Maybe it's the 9 hells. There it is.
maybe it's the audience.
Exactly. And Arisa, what's Arisa doing here? Oh, not Arisa. Sorry, Alindra.
Alindra is teaching meditation and trying to help with self-contentment. So you see, it's a balance of nutrition, exercise, meditation, a prayer if that's something you're into. There are different places that have different forms of these things, and I basically start doing, Headspace 101. So you're going to sit. You're not going to allow yourself. If you are distracted, you just come back to your breathing. So we go in for 4. 3 and 4
Wait.
and out for 4.
Wait, no, I understand now. Me dad never said he loved me. I understand everything I've been doing is a desperate plea for attention.
Well, and I'm so glad you've come to that realization.
It took
That must have been very hard.
took me roughly 12 breaths to come through, and you see Tad leans over. He's like, "Oh,
New record.
brother, no, lay out, you lay out, yeah." He's like, group hug, yeah, group hug, and he like scoops you in.
I will give them their group hug.
He's like, what? With Tonka's like crying with his shoulders heaving, like, "Oh, I love you both so much. I love you too, man.
I love them all too. My sweet ogre friends with their big feels. Feels as big as they are.
That is true. Once you scrape the surface, the mad is just a whole lot of sad.
You're going to have new friends now, and you can show them how much you adore them by throwing parties and having fun together and not killing each other.
Oh, yeah, I understand now. It's much better to be able to have parties together instead of, like, what we normal do with the chain thing.
Yes, and it's fun to do the sort of fun stage combat sort of thing we were doing earlier, but please make sure you know that the other person is engaged in that and they've agreed to participate.
Well, they gotta
practice.
be in on the joke, otherwise they just get thumped in the head.
Exactly. And remember that the pranks happen once a year during the celebration specifically. So next year when you're included,
We'll be ready.
you'll be ready.
Thank
And now
you.
you'll have friends, and make sure that even if you don't get an invitation, you can invite them to your party. And it can be the Fool's Foam party. The Fool's FOMO party.
FOMO party. The party of the year. I do have a question for you, though, Miss
Yes.
Alindra. That little griffin mate of yours, he always
Yes.
looks so disapproving when he looks at us. He just, the judgiest eyebrows he
He
got.
does, yes. He has strong opinions on things.
Well, tell him we said we's friends. We not gonna hurt him or nothing.
And Griff kind of looks at them, and he sees them all being so sweet and loving toward one another, and he sort of The eyebrows just lift a little bit. Just a little.
Just like that. Oh, we got through to him. Briv, I just feel like, Briv, you're like full Fred Flintstone with the dino ribs, but you tell me what Briv is doing for this.
Your inclination is very on point there, B. David. So yeah, Briv is just buzzing around, like springs in his feet, literally, from one place to the next, because I imagine this was made for giants, and so lots of ground to cover, and he is just rushing back and forth. He is putting far too much salt and garlic and pepper, and now he's pretty simple with the spices, so he's not going for the coriander or any of that crazy stuff, right? So he is going for the simplicity, and he is seasoning this meat to perfection. I rolled a 25 with that check, and I am basically putting out a spread, and kind of surprising everyone. I did some they had some sprouts. They're probably not called Brussels ones here, but there are some sprouts that
Neverwinter
sprouts.
I was about to say Neverwinter sprouts.
Yeah, Neverwinter sprouts, and those Neverwinter sprouts. He basically does those up because he figured out, he was asking some of the people in the group here, just kind of one by one, where it wouldn't seem like he was asking the question just outright what a vegetarian was, and so he kind of pieced it all together. And as
he's
that
been traveling with Alindra for like years and years and years, and hasn't caught wind of it.
Doesn't really understand it, but he finally understands that it's just that they need to eat vegetables. And so he found these Neverwinter sprouts, and he put that together and basically seasoned them and cooked them in the exact same way. And so they will pretty much taste just like all the meat that he prepared, but it will at least have the vegetables ready for people to eat.
I appreciate that you kind of unintentionally created like Texas dry barbecue, like the dry.
That's it.
Right.
That is it.
And as you all finish your preparations, and the townsfolk are alerted to what's going on and start making their way up the hills, and you can see them coming with torches and everything to make their way through the darkness. You see at the front of the column, the first torch that you see is not a torch at all. It's Freely holding up his moon blade over his head as he's walking and holding Cinnamon in the other arm. And he's like, "Are you guys all right? I saw Bubbles, and she said you seemed like you had it under control, and that she made you very large and fearsome."
Did you bring your swimsuit?
I'm feeling so left out. I didn't get a fancy outfit. I didn't get to be a panda bear. It's okay. That's okay. There's time. I'm enjoying my pirate regalia. And right when he says that, in a shower of sparks and Bubbles appears, also wearing a red panda kigurumi one-piece bathing suit now. It's like a skin-tight kigurumi with the tassels.
That is a look, my friend. That is a look.
Does this work? I just... Oh, Freely.
It's doing something.
Also, I got you, buddy. Boom. And Freely changes also into a unusually tall red panda that is red and green in his fur, but he is wearing a yellow shirt with a very wide butterfly collar, a vest, in very thin, skin-tight red and green bell-bottom pants, in platform shoes. He's like, I don't know if this is waterproof, but I'm for it. And she's like, "Oh, no, it's waterproof. I got you, buddy. Wow, look at what you guys did. Is that Tiamat fighting Bahamut?"
Yes, I worked it in.
Wow.
Tiamat is winning.
Wait, isn't that bad? Isn't Tiamat bad?
Yeah, and
Yeah, but Bahamut's dumb.
You'll also notice in this illusion, Tiamat's big central head is a white dragon because he likes cold stuff. He had a lot of notes. I still haven't locked the final edit yet. He's still wanting to make changes.
He does know that the party starts in like 15 minutes, right?
I know.
Great illusions are
There's
not
an upload
released,
time
they all escape.
Immediately after, you see Iris comes floating up and it's like, oh my goodness, look at all of you. You look so incredible and adorable. And Bailoth, one of her eye stalks, comes forward and the eye shuts enough to pinch your cheek. You do kind of feel that.
Grant flies over with something in his mouth, and it looks like this intricate netting with all of these little glass things, and he like the equivalent of hands it over. He just kind of like drops it over. My mage hand will come over and help. And
are these for me?
Grant nods.
Thank you so much, you adorable little blue darling. And she does slip the goggles over each one of her eye stalks, and she goes, all right, Ariza, I think this will help us make sure we don't have any other unintended petrifications, darling.
Ooh,
I think
Iris.
it's a look.
Iris,
Yes, Briv.
hast thou heard about the one where the giant threw up?
No.
It is all over town.
Look at you, so talented, such a great chef, such a great warrior, and such a comedian.
I go on later tonight. That was the warm-up.
Oh, looking forward to it. Come on, people. And you see she looks back and she goes, oh, hold on. And one of the eye stalks moves the glass off her central stalk and she fires her disintegrate beam into the air. She's like, here, let's get this party started. And everybody comes in. And in the midst of the party where everybody has a wonderful time, the decorations are on point. All of the people have achieved inner peace. They are shocked and awed and astounded by the illusion playing out the life of Raredor with only minor notes, and are amazed and mystified by the culinary necromancy of Briv. And as the town sits here happily in peace, you all having resolved the conflict, there is only one thing left to do. Thanks to the good people of Idle Champions, we were told that we would be sung off by none other than Bailoth the Entertainer. So if you would please, good sir, the stage is yours. Wait, you know what? Hold on a second.
So, Bailoth sort of takes center stage. Thank you, one and all, for coming to the FOMO party. You see, it's FOMO, there's Mo Foam. It works on at least 3 levels. There are 3 levels that it works on. But really, we're all here to celebrate Raredor, our host, the founder of the feast, as it were. And what better way to do that than in song? Oh, we came here for a fest that was better than the rest, 'cause everybody plays the fool. There was a bit of a kerfuffle when we got into a tussle with Hallister Blackcloak. That was cool. But then some stupid dummy and his fellow silly rummies decided to play a jest. He roiled up the local giants, who then became our clients, and we threw a party. It's the best. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. Coupons for the Black Pit for everyone. There we are.
And with that, how can we possibly follow that? So the simple answer is we won't. That is a good place to conclude our adventure. So, yay! You guys found a solution other than violence, because they actually would have been pretty hard to beat, actually. So, yay! I knew when he put that first 26 on Briv, it was like, oh no. Oh no. So thank you all for tuning in, both to Idle Champions Presents A Fool's Errand and for the Unfair Seas before this. I can tell you Idle Champions Presents will return. Probably going to be a little while because we got to figure out what we're going to do next. Like all things, we have to find a way to do it better. We have to take what we did and do it more. We have to Baylothify all of this.
You have to enlarge rather than reduce.
Exactly. You know, we literally had giants in this one, so we need bigger stuff going into the next one. So, yeah, we do. 100%. We do. Again, with me, less isn't more, more is more. So, however, you beautiful people, let me give you another chance to say who you were playing, and where people can find you. And we will go the opposite direction around the horn this time, and we will start with you, Briv.
Hey, I'm Adam Bradford. I'm the Chief Development Officer at Demiplane. You can check us out at demiplane.com. Lots more on the way there. And also, I'm going to shout out that Jasper's Game Week is coming up the first weekend of May. And right now, there are seat auctions going on. And in the game that I am running, I have a wonderful guest. Miss Christina Ariel is going to be joining the table, in addition to Gail Simone and Tony Winslow Brill. Excellent table, and you could be there too. And I think some other people here are maybe participating. Check out the seed auctions page and donate to a wonderful cause for suicide prevention at jaspersgameday.com.
Absolutely. I will insert, I am running a game. I think it's the Sunday night of the weekend. Honestly, I don't know because I've done about 12 things between here and there. But check the website. There is a game.
You're on the list, yes.
Yeah, so you can come and play a game at me at whatever time they say it's happening.
I am also in games. So
hey.
With Lauren Urban, actually. Lauren Urban and Jasmine Pilar.
There you go.
In the one I am in.
You can live the dream there. Also, this is true. Earlier on Idle Champions Presents, we mentioned the fact that we're doing the whole big thing on Wednesday that I will let Aaron tell you. But Trevor legit was like, we'll be back on Wednesday. And I'm like, we will? What? And they're like, you agreed to do it. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. You know? Like, okay, so yeah, there's a thing. I'll be at both of these things. Alindra.
Yes. Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. You can find me on Twitter as DreamWisp. You can find me on Twitch as DreamWispJen. I am one of the authors on Candlekeep Mysteries, the newest D&D hardcover. I'm also the creator of the Accessibility in Gaming Resource Guide, which you can find in my pinned tweet. It's all about how to make your game and life and any other work you do more accessible and inclusive to the disabled community. You can find me tomorrow night on Demiplane with Adam and with B-Dave, playing also Alindra there as I adventure with the Heroes of the Plains. And this was so much fun. It was such a joy to play with all of you. And thank you so much for having me, and Alindra and Griff and Grant.
Thank you for bringing the whole crew. Oh, there's a puppy. I'm jumping the line to Mark because we have a puppers as well. I'm jumping the line.
I had to pick her up. She was licking my feet. So hello, I am. This is Alice. Hello. There you go. She's a shih tzu.
Hi.
And I'm Mark Muir. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. You can also hear me on Stitch of Fate, a podcast by night, a Vampire the Masquerade podcast with new episodes drop every Friday. And we were just honored with an Audioverse Award for Best New Improvised Production, and a couple of others for our storyteller and one of our casts. So very congratulations to the rest of Stitch of Fate, a podcast by night. You can also view me on a bold new venture. That is an official Dungeons and Dragons stream set in the dread domains of Ravenloft and DM'd by Mr. B. Dave Walters. That's the Black Dice Society. We are launching this Thursday, April 1st, I believe at 4 p.m. PT. Is that correct?
Is that an April Fool's joke?
No, it is
not
real.
an April Fool's.
I assure you.
It's not.
Only for those trapped in the mist.
It's funny because people keep saying it would be the longest con ever if it really was. And I'm like, I am not above such a thing, but no, it isn't. I promise.
Yeah, we commissioned all of this art. We got Wizards of the Coast in on it. They made a fake landing page for us. No, it's real. It's real. It's happening. It's happening this Thursday. And as I say, Adventures in Horror RPG in the Domains of Dread. There you go.
I'm gonna button hook back. Thank you, Alice. That Alice feels about you like we all do, Mark. Just kisses. Just kisses.
Lots of kisses. Just lots of kisses.
Button hook backwards here to Aaron.
You can find me on Twitter at Aaron M. Evans. You can catch me on Mondays at 11 on Champions of Lore with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis, where we talk about all the lore that's fun to know in Idle Champions. And then you can see me on Wednesday. Again, we will be doing another extra bonus episode of Champions of Lore for the Spring Extravaganza. We will definitely be there. We have made sure that we have all put it on our calendars, and we are not going to forget. And then also Wednesdays, 6:30 on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers. I play Cecilia, who is definitely not a warlock. This week we are doing our archaeology themed adventure in Myth Draenor with our player Rhiannon Held is going to run as a DM because she is a professional archaeologist. So have some fun, maybe learn some things. And if you enjoyed Havilar, you should check out the Brimstone Angels saga, which is available in ebook and on Audible very easily, and in print with a little more work.
Excellent. Last but certainly not least, Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina Ariel. You may know me from such things as this show that you just watched a couple of minutes ago that just finished its season. But I'm here to talk to you about other stuff. You can find me at Christina Ariel, KRYSTINA ARIELLE. If you spell it wrong, you won't find me. Or if you do spell it right, you might find another. There's another girl who has my exact same name, which is really weird because my name's not. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So what I'm going to ask you to do, all of you here, is to go, because the new episode of Star Wars The High Republic show just came out today, episode 2, and it's on StarWars.com. It's also on the Star Wars YouTube, the official Star Wars YouTube. So go to that and check it out and make sure that you like the video. And I don't know, don't read the comments. But yeah, it'll be super fun. Go do the thing. And I hope that you guys will watch it and support my work that I have coming up. I have some really cool things in the next coming weeks, including an appearance on Around the Galaxy, which is a Star Wars podcast. I'm going to be part of a big Star Wars panel. So I hope that you guys will check it out. Follow me if you want to know more information. I'm done talking. Bye.
Hey, let me give you the winners of Whiz Kids. It is Ben Williams, John Wolski, and Matthew Goodman. Hopefully you've been notified in chat, but Ben Williams, John Wolski, Matthew Goodman. It only took me 6 weeks to be ready for that, to say it at the right time. Again, this Wednesday, the String Extravaganza begins. There is a new Modron core, there is a new patron, a new evergreen champion, and more. And there will be a day of streaming. Great stuff starting from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Aaron and I will be on with Trevor at 11 Pacific. Bardic Inspiration Volume 1 also arrives on Wednesday. Featuring your friend and mine, Jason Charles Miller and Kinley Shea, with co-songs written by Aaron and Vivka. You should buy it on Steam. Did we mention there's going to be a launch day discount? Everybody likes discounts. Bubbles the Holophant and Cinnamon the Red Panda familiar DLC packs will also be available on Wednesday. So you could potentially have Iris and Bubbles and Cinnamon all rolling out with your homies, rolling out in your formation. Again, I told you about that, about the day of streaming. Idle Champions Presents will return. I'm B. Dave Walters. You can find me all over the internet, wherever fine streaming content can be located. But most importantly, this Thursday at 4 p.m., that is not a joke at all, the Black Dice Society will begin on D&D, YouTube, and Twitch. Again, thank you all for having taken this adventure with us. You literally make it possible to do what we do, and we cannot thank you enough. And until next time, Champions out.